Hello everyone. Welcome to The Ghost in the Machine, a D&D live play show about memory, identity, magic, and politics. I am your Dungeon Master, Matthew Foreman. We are joined by our usual cast of lovely players. Real quick, as always, if you're enjoying the stream tonight, and if you haven't already, follow us on Twitch. And be sure to go down there and follow us on all of our other social medias. We post content there for you to enjoy and get to know us better throughout the week. As always, our partners in this, Animal Helper, thank you for those of us who are joining from Animal Helper's Facebook page, a 501c3 located in New Orleans that is just terrific, and they do great work for special needs animals, and just absolutely tremendous. And is kind of, well, we haven't done, no, I'll announce that next week, it's fine. So, when we last left our heroes, we'll just do the recap. When we last left our heroes, they had journeyed back into the mists in the local province of Falglen Holler in order to slay a dragon, a local green adult dragon, Visora, the poisonous sky, who was threatening nearby communities after a vacuum that had left. That had been left by the killing of the Elder Hag of Falglen Loch by the party. This vacuum had left these communities vulnerable, and this newly awakened dragon would threaten people. So they ventured down in there, they killed the dragon, and then they performed a ritual to awaken the cloak, Selena's cloak, Eurysidril. They then were into a kind of strange dimension with a diner and some other foreboding metaphors. The void came for them. They fought the void. They traversed through what seemed to be a time loop, but may have been a false kind of time illusion, and then defeated a voidling known as the Processor and crushed these massive chains on a platform and then awakened the cloak. We pick back up them back in the cave of Visora, having come through the blood, the gold pile of Visora's small hoard having been consumed in the magical ritual, and the party coming out from the blood with Dryden Dickers. So, what would you all wish to do?
As we extract ourselves from the blood. You said the massive gold pile is gone?
It's gone. Consumed in the ritual.
Do we know it's consumed in the ritual, or do we think someone took it?
You know it's consumed in the ritual.
It makes sense.
It's your first instinct, I'll say that.
So yes, Sylvan is my language. So the cloak just Shazammed itself into existence?
Yep, the cloak has awakened. She told you she is awakened. And the mantle has a high collar, is a bit more pronounced, and the cloak is now a fully fledged cloak with green scales and it's brilliant looking emerald green.
80 shoulder pads, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that certainly did something.
Yeah, your cloak is almost as fancy as mine now. And I billow.
Is she look healed?
Yep. Her chest wound is gone. The hole and everything is gone. She's... Yeah.
Okay.
That was certainly an interesting experience.
Did you guys stay standing in the circle after we disappeared?
I began to wander around, but then I was teleported to that other place.
Okay.
We're outside of it. I reached in to poke you to see if you were alive, and to see if you were actually in the pool, and nothing was there, and then...
So I asked this question so I could ignore them, and then ask my cloak, so like they wouldn't notice.
Ignoring her.
So, ask her, how's it feel?
It feels good to be more aware and awake.
I just wanted to make sure she was still there.
She is?
After 2,000 years, I'm free!
Oh, no.
It's time to conquer Edda!
Oh, no.
That's the other half of this, like, shit, guys.
Alpha, Eurysidril escaped.
Oh, no. Come on.
It goes on for 10 more minutes.
You would be the Green Ranger. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah? The one who turns evil against all of us, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. You got the dragon sword?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my god!
Yep.
It's perfect!
It's very fitting.
I don't plan to murder you.
I'm the Black Ranger. I have a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wonderful.
You're the Blue Ranger.
I am
Oh
the Blue
God,
Ranger.
this is actually working. He's the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, dang.
Because
Did
there's
we
no
just-
purple ranger,
And
so.
fire.
We are actually.
There's a pink ranger. Her name's Kimberly.
You
What
could
if
be
the Pink Ranger and the Red Ranger got
Because you
together?
always need to.
Yeah,
look
but I'm kind of the
pretty.
leader of this, so.
Yeah, he's
So-
definitely the
That's
Red.
true.
So anyway,
You could
Now
also be
D&D turns into
the White Ranger. maybe?
Mutant Teenage Ninja Turtles.
Power Rangers.
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
God.
Power Rangers.
I don't know you anymore.
I mean, Matt, is it too late to veto somebody out of the party?
I love how you said mutant ninja teenage turtles or something like that too. Like you
Okay.
never get the thing.
Bringing this back in.
Oh
Um,
man.
Thank you so much for your help, both of you.
It was not a problem.
He helped too.
The least I could do.
So you, but for the ritual.
Yeah, he helped with the ritual too.
I did the circle.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
alrighty, let's get the giggles out.
So we'll remember this.
She just says yeah.
Shall we return to town? Is there anything else here to do?
I think returning to town is wise. What did we?
Dryden is standing right there, by the way.
Oh,
He's the Pink Ranger.
Yes, we should go back to town and finish up what business we have there before taking care of the next thing on our list.
I think we need a bit of a rest first.
Yes.
I believe I can help getting us back to town.
Really?
You can?
I can.
Would you be more comfortable in your parents' home?
Yep.
Right.
Undoubtedly.
And he pulls out a card and he goes,
Did we need to get anything out of this place first? Uh-oh.
it's not working.
Oh, it's probably because of the mist.
Oh. Do you know the way back then?
We do.
Okay, great.
It is a bit of a journey, though. So
The rest
we might
sounds-
want to rest up here.
The rest
first.
sounds like a fine idea. We got our butts pretty well kicked by that voidling.
We took care of it.
I felt pretty close to death.
I think we were closer than we wanted to be.
You
physically.
did die. But yes.
You both died.
Less metaphysical
die.
death from one realm to another, but like literally physically being in another plane. I don't think we time traveled.
On that one, no. We were probably in a different plane.
And
Don't understand any of that, but okay.
had a bit of a conversation with the smoking lady. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. It means nothing to me. She's a fantastic woman. If you ever get to meet her, do so. And stay in her shop. Don't walk outside of it. It's safer there.
Do you think it's still there?
Absolutely.
With all of everything crashing down, do you think it still exists?
I think she's been there longer than we know, and she'll be there long after we're gone. Yeah.
what makes you think that this smoking woman is so fantastic?
I think she holds more together than we understand. Like, she's... How do I put it without sounding completely cheesy? She's in a barrier between worlds. Like, she's in her own plane, but she's like in a barrier between worlds, and she helps keep it that way. Souls that come through her shop usually don't come back. We got lucky.
Sounds like she's doing a great job then. Shall we rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take first watch.
Alrighty.
That's it.
We're just taking a short rest, right? We're not sleeping?
Oh,
Oh, what time of day is it?
So you guys trekked all the way out there. It is, I mean,
Because we did this in the morning. Because we had
How-
taken a sleep.
Can I finish?
Sure.
Thank you. It is night. It is now approaching nightfall because it took you some time to get out there. Because you're past Fall of Gloom, Holler, and into the waterfall. So it is approaching nighttime. If you make your way back, it will be well into the night.
can we use the
So-
carriage?
So, from the
No,
time we
because of the
cast the
mist.
ritual to now, it's been a full day.
No,
Look in the this.
You guys arrived late in the day. It takes a good while to get to not
was
only
like a
to get to the
6-hour
stone
walk.
table,
Yeah.
but you moved around the lake.
Yeah, but we took a full rest, a long rest before we did the ritual. We did the ritual in the morning.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my bad.
That's what
yeah,
I was
that's
saying.
right. You slept over.
And
That's
then
right.
you're
You
like,
had to sleep
"Can I
overnight.
finish?" I'm just,
You know.
just giving you shit. So from the time we did the ritual, which was in the morning.
Yeah, it
So
has
now-
no noticeable time has passed. Not too much anymore.
Okay, so it's still in the morning.
Okay, then short
So
rest.
having a long rest makes no sense.
Okay. Short rest. D&D Beyond. Short rest.
So is it actually still in the morning, or has any time passed since we left? Can we tell?
Roll intelligence.
We're
You
inside
guys are
a
in a
cave too.
Yeah, that's why I'm
so-
saying.
Okay, yeah. Just straight intelligence?
Yep.
Okay, so that would be 22.
You're in a cave.
Okay.
You'd like to check
Like to
outside
check.
later.
Yeah.
So you guys are taking a short rest, which allows you to spend hit dice. For those of you who are hurt.
Yes, quite.
I'm fine.
Perfect. Back up to full. Mrs. Skillgas, are you there?
Yes.
When I was gone, what was that like for you? I went someplace else and you weren't there.
I was in a cave alone.
Can you tell us approximately how long I was gone?
That's an excellent question. It hasn't been that long.
It would seem like time must pass differently on the other side.
I'm sure it does. Time is relative.
Thank you.
No, that doesn't.
You're welcome. So, you guys take your short rest. You use those resources that you wish to use.
I'm ready.
You have the corpse of Isora. Is there anything anyone would like to attempt to harvest off of it, or are you leaving the entirety as a finder's fee? You can't take the corpse with you. It's an adult-sized dragon. You don't have an interdimensional pocket.
I would take a scale.
Just a
if
single
possible.
scale?
I hate to play this card. Dryden knows about animals and whatnot. I think that we're going to try to harvest
Yeah.
the most pricey or most cost-effective thing.
So you're attempting to harvest the thing rather than provide the information of its location as a finder's fee. You'd like to harvest objects from it?
I mean, could we?
Weren't we
And so
told
let me
we
think.
could be reimbursed for
Yeah.
those things that we brought back? Wasn't
Yes,
that
you
what
could
we were
be
told?
reimbursed, or you could do what is known as a finder's fee. You basically tell them the location, they go there, they confirm, and they pay you out a large sum of money.
Okay.
It's up to you.
How reliable is that actually?
You'd be doing it through noble houses.
So then let's just
Still
do that.
the same question.
How reliable are your noble houses? in
Yeah, how
Bridgeton?
reliable are you?
Am I?
Yeah.
So could we get reimbursed through my family?
Yes.
We'll do that.
You can take a single scale
Right.
without compromising any cost.
Okay, so we know that we would want to keep it intact if we want to get the full. Okay, then let's just do that if that's the safest thing.
So, different question. When we say green dragon in this world, is she like the green of these cups? Is she like emerald green? Is she like what kind of green is a green dragon? I don't know.
They come in different shades, more of an emerald, I suppose.
Then I'll take 2 or 3 scales if I can.
Okay. They're pretty good size. I don't know how big they'd be, about yay big. Fist
Probably
size or so, probably.
Probably
I
depends
don't
on
know.
where I took them from.
Yeah, but like a fist size or so.
Perfect.
Can I take 5?
Sure. Anything else?
What do they mean to you?
You know how my family is. I don't want to say anything more.
They're
You'll
like.
spoil the surprise.
I have no need for trinkets. I'm fine to go.
All right. So, you guys are making your way back. You've already made your way there. You've already been to the stone table. There's not really any need to roll anything. You guys are able to make your way back to the Gate of the Locks. Takes you, so you got there, you woke up pretty much first thing. So, we'll say it is late afternoon, 3 p.m. or so, when you guys get back to the Silver Gate of the Locks. The large silver bulwark, and the conservator of the bulwark, Ginny Halfmoon, I think, or Lana Halfmoon. She stands there at the top, looking out. Ah, you're back.
We are.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing great. This is one of the better days I've had, I'd say.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Why is that, if you don't mind my asking?
It's just been a good day. Yeah.
Can I roll insight for disappointment that we came back?
Roll insight.
Okay, green dice. Nothing. 6.
Yep. She's like, come on in then. You coming back in?
Yes.
Great. And the silver bulwark opens, letting out, giving you just enough space to kind of waddle on through. They don't open it like, a big lot.
Okay. I'm suspicious. Immediately distrustful. We're gonna get screwed somehow. Mad. Gosh, so terrible.
I head in, and I guess I start heading for their place.
Decent hustle bustle in the region that the Gate of the Locks is housed in. There's a decent sized crowd. There seems to be perhaps some new market stands, some things that are
Is that so?
going on. Yeah, a really decent sized crowd actually. And then, so you guys shuffle on through, and the gate closes behind you.
What's new?
What do you mean? There's just a good
there's new
hustle.
market stands and
Yeah,
such?
there's a few market stands, a few things. This is actually in the Gate of the Locks. I don't know why I can't.
It has to be in the market, right?
Yeah, it's in the Margod. So there are lots of new little stands. Nothing quite stands out. It just seems like there's a good bit of hustle and bustle. Throughout the crowd, you can see these kind of silver little flings, ding, 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 ding. And parting from the crowd, about 18 guards with crossbows,
Yep.
all pointed at you guys. And you hear the conservator of the bulwark say, "You are under arrest for the assassination
Yep, of course.
of Agnes, Elder Hag of Fallaglen Lock."
Well,
Of course.
I can't escape here, so that's fine.
If you just kept your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Don't remember any of you guys knowing that was an issue.
You told us.
there's a clip of it.
I'd like to speak with my uncle.
You'll be escorted to Cassilian Agrid. Your parents have been notified. You will await audience with the Duke.
What's the proceeding usually for this sort of thing? We get to speak with counsel? Or, okay.
You get there. So the guards are all standing around you. They all have their nice armor, crossbows drawn. The wizard stands on top of the gate. We'll escort you to Cassilian Agrid.
I don't see anything.
All right.
Great.
The guards form a phalanx around you. And they escort you through the Margod, through Agrif, into the Bastion Lannig, where you see security has been beefed up. You arrive to the bridge, the very long, ornate bridge that connects the peak, Bastion Peak, Lannig Peak, into the castle.
What's below the bridge?
Empty sky.
Okay.
It's the peaks. And the mists.
Okay.
Would you like to try to fly away?
I'm not making a break for it, but the mists. That would be a problem. Yeah. Slow fall.
luck.
20 feet.
Good luck, God bless.
Okay.
So, you guys all shuffle in. We go on. You are now crossing the bridge slowly. The guards are On either side, it's a fairly wide bridge. You can see pedestrian traffic has been long cleared. They don't seem to want to disarm you. They don't seem to want to, you know. Yeah, they don't ask for your weapons or anything. Actually, you're just being escorted and flanked.
Great.
That's fine.
Great.
This is fine.
So
How
They-
many of them are there?
there are 18 guards and the wizard.
18 guards in the wizard, and the wizard, would I recognize what class of wizard he is?
She,
She.
conservator of the bulwark, no. She does robes. She's a magic user of some kind. Hasn't displayed any particular skill.
That's why it's a good day. Of course.
We'll be fine. Just don't talk.
Yep.
So as you guys are walking there, and as you get closer and closer to Cassilian Grid, the conservator of the bulwark, she's like, "Did you not think we'd put two and two together?" She's like, "Y'all arrive plumb tucking out of nowhere. You come into the gates, you head into the gates, and then we get news that the elder Hagafal of the Loch is dead. Do you have any idea how few people travel that way?
Do you have any idea where my uncle is?
I imagine he'll be summoned soon."
We can wait. Do you have anything to drink?
I'll get you a nice refreshment whenever we get to the castle.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
So you guys are being escorted into the castle, the large silver gates of the castle, the portcullis. As she shouts, "We have prisoners!" And you are escorted on through into the courtyard. You are put into, you then enter through the gates of the castle into the kind of the foyer, and then so you two, so once you reach the foyer, they will separate you two. So the conservator, the captain of the guard, with takes about 8 guards, and no 9 guards, and young halfling man. He says, "You two will go down to the stockades."
Putting me in a stockade, huh?
What does that mean to me? Like, what does that...
It's a holding cell.
Okay. It's just,
I don't say a word.
All right. And so they take you down into the eastern side of the castle. Sorry, forgot to mute it. The conservator of the bulwark, Alana Halfmoon, turns to you two. She says, "Now, you'll be waiting in one of the suites as is deserving of your station. But we will require your weapons."
As long as they return to us, once this is all sorted out.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Probably.
And she,
I
the
have
guards,
my crossbow.
crossbow, sword,
And I think I have a dagger, so I have that.
and the rod.
What rod?
The rod of the Pact Keeper.
It's not a weapon.
She's like, "I'm not an idiot."
She's a mage.
Fine.
Either the wand.
Oh, right, I have a wand. That's right. Yep.
So anything kind of offensive in nature is taken from you, and you guys are escorted into what passes for guest quarters. Not proper guest quarters, but one nice room that has more than one bed for you guys to sit and wait, and guards are posted outside of your door.
Mm-hmm.
You two are being escorted by 9 guards and the captain of the guard through into the east wing, down in the lower cells, into the stockades.
I take 10 minutes to cast the hut.
Okay, so I'll get to that. You move on through into the stockades. Weapons. The constable at the jail.
It's like a comedic scene of like throwing stars and daggers and different stuff like that. So just like
Yes.
quite a few of all that.
So when you go to hand him the zip-zap dagger, he's like, zzz, zzz, it flies out. One more time, and you see him throw it into a lead case.
Hand him the clutch and the scimitar.
You see them he puts it in the lead case. Alrighty. You guys are put in separate jail cells that are across from one another.
As we're being brought in, can I look around to see if there's, I'm sure this wouldn't be obvious, but like any kind of, like wards or sensors or anything like that, anything that looks like arcane?
Yeah, roll investigation.
Thank you. It's not going to be great. That's probably a 14. Yep, 14.
You look around, and yes, there are absolutely runic inscriptions on the outside of the walls, and there seems to be no runic inscriptions within each jail cell to prevent tampering of any kind, and the bars themselves are inscribed with runes, and all along your way you did see runes on the ground and things like that, so it does seem to be a magically fortified stockade.
Wonderful.
Alrighty. So, as you begin to cast the hut, you hear a knock on your door. No magic.
Okay.
Can I have my drink now?
We'll get you your drink.
Thank you.
Within takes about 30 minutes, they eventually get you a drink. Did you want something?
Yes, please.
They get you a drink as well. You guys are given no drinks. Even the stockades. No one cares. Alright. So, is there anything that anyone would wish to do?
You have any of those biscuits?
Maybe in a little bit.
I'm going to try to inspect what the lock mechanisms look like of the jail cells that are here.
Alright, roll investigation.
It's a 15.
They're actually pretty sophisticated. Not the worst you've ever seen, but yeah, it would, you don't have your tools, so.
Right. Man.
Yeah. I mean, anything like that was you're stripped of your gear, essentially. You
Okay.
think of it that way.
That's fair. Even the robes, or are the robes left on?
No, they wouldn't disrobe you.
Okay. Any guards around, within eyesight or visible?
Yeah.
Is there one, multiple, or are they talking?
So you have at least one constable at the end of the hall, and then you have a couple patrols.
Okay. I'll just keep an eye out for if any of them talk or have any conversations.
Okay.
And I'll observe them.
All right. Roll perception.
That's an 13.
Excuse me. Okay. I would say that you hear some stuff at the end of the hall. You're not too sure. You're not too confident how well you could mimic it.
Okay.
Actually, you hear one guard very clearly.
Okay.
Clearly. Yeah.
And I am able to piece together which one it is.
Yep.
Okay.
You can now mimic their voice as per your actor feat. So, you guys are sitting there in your suite.
Are we being treated according to custom and law?
You got drinks, and you're in a comfy suite.
Okay. No rights being violated.
So far.
Okay. And what about theirs?
You don't know you're not there.
No, but I mean,
But
from
you're-
what we've seen so far, them being separated.
On the way there, no.
Okay.
Are there any windows in the cell? Is it a windowless cell? Is it just okay, like in a basement?
No,
just
sorry, I was
bars?
repeating what you said. Is it a windowless cell? No, there's a little high and tight window with little bars.
How small do I look like I could squeeze out of it?
God, it would be a feat. It's a bar. I mean, if you were able to remove the bars,
Okay.
it would be a feat. It's like this. No, yeah, I don't think you could. No, never mind. Well, he's really small, but he's not that small. You know.
Right. Squeezing rules.
Lord.
Can't teleport just yet.
No.
Is there anything anyone wishes to do?
Does this count as a short rest in here?
You've already had a short rest.
Oh, that's right. Does it count as an extended rest?
I just sit there and I meditate.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Would I recognize that any of the runes on this, on the cell in general and on the walls and stuff would tell non-magic users that there was magic happening?
Non-magic users, there's magic happening. Yes, very likely. You get the sense these are modified and permanent alarm spells. Probably some sensories, probably some,
So
and some abjuration.
I'd be able to tell that, like, even if I was doing something like divination, which isn't going to hurt anything,
It would probably send off an alarm.
Okay.
So before I actually drink the drink they bring me, I taste it to make sure it's not some sort of potion.
Okay. It's not.
No, I'm chugging mine.
You die.
Campaign over. Yeah, probably the character.
Done. I guess we wait for council.
Yep. Yeah. We don't. I don't think we really speak to each other much at all during this time because we don't
they
want to
could
be
be
listened
listening.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Cold hard
We don't
killers.
talk to pigs.
They're cold hard killers already. You guys have trained them well.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just know
I
that the
didn't kill
half
anyone.
moons are allowing
Guys,
slavery.
We
in
know
this.
how this works.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
I know that the half moons are probably allowing slavery to happen. So
So you
I
guys,
didn't kill anyone.
you guys stew in your cells for a few hours. It's getting late. You're starting to feel the sleep coming, but more than a few hours, 5 or 6. You are fed dinner. Yours is actually pretty nice. You know, rosemary potatoes and stuff like this. Yours is a little more like on the gruel side. It's not completely unedible. Well, you don't even eat, but you know, it's not completely unedible, but it's there. After God, it's probably it's well into dark. About 9:45, 10 p.m. You can start hearing more of the hustle and bustle in the halls. You can hear more cling and clang. There's a change of the guard, and there is now that it's well into the night, you see a couple of magic users, robed individuals that are now starting to patrol the hall with more regularity.
Did we see any other prisoners on the way in?
No, there doesn't seem to be anyone in there. Pretty
Just
empty.
us?
There's like maybe like a drunk, you know, but no one that seems remotely, you know, noticeable. Yeah, not like Beverly or anything.
There's no like lifers in here that are just in and out of jail all the time.
No.
That are,
The lifers get sent to prison.
or anybody that's like
Sent to the
clanging.
mines, apparently.
No.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's
the,
a couple drunkards.
The
that's
magic
about it.
users, like they switched out the more mundane guards with ones that look like they're more magical.
Yeah, there's more guards at night, and there's more magic users.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry. Would this count as an extended rest during this time frame? If I meditate for 4 hours?
Oh yeah, as an elf, yes.
Yes.
And do I get 8 hours of light activity?
8 hours of light activity.
Just let me know when that moment happens that I've
So
had.
3, 4. No, it's been 6 hours.
Just so whenever, if it gets to 8 hours, just let me know.
So you lay in there for 6 hours and just the rest of the rest.
Meditate.
I'm probably. Are there books in this?
Yeah, there's a
room?
small little study. that
I'm
you could
reading
probably-
whatever I find most interesting.
It's pretty boring. It's all like really stale and old, but you read.
I love that I can see and hear as normal. That makes me so happy.
So you guys, eventually around about 10 p.m., there is like a cling, 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 and the guards come to you, accompanied by a wizard, human wizard, spellcaster, a woman with red hair, pale skin, but she doesn't seem to be wearing any kind of Grin Brush conservatory gear or anything. She looks to be entirely of human hire and human make, and she doesn't have any insignia of the Grandland Company. She just has these simple robes. She says, the audience with the Duke. Your presence is requested.
Just him or both of us?
Both of you.
Lead the way.
It was requested that we had counsel.
Council's there. It's just an audience.
How many guards are there? Just checking.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out what
There's
their
about
entourage. Okay,
in
so they
plain
sent
sight.
quite a few people. Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. They're going to escort you. So, door knocks. It is the conservator of the Bulwark. The Duke's ready to see you. Your uncle's there.
Very well.
Perfect.
So she escorts you into the Grand Hall of Cassilian Agrid.
Was she lying about my uncle being there?
Roll an insight. before. She was not lying.
Okay.
But she did have an air of smugness.
Of course.
She's happy
But
about
you-
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting us all in front of the Duke without any counsel beforehand, which is
Right.
probably where your legal loophole is going to sit.
So, so you guys are escorted into Cassilian, the Grand Hall of Cassilian Ogred, the throne of glittering silver. The visual sensations immediately overwhelm you as like any bit of light reflects off and it kind of blinds you momentarily. A brilliant glittering silver throne sits high on the thing with two little smaller minor silver thrones accompanying it. There is a beautiful cerulean blue carpet that leads up, and cerulean fixtures adorn the several silvered halls. This is a hall of silver. And then a very muted brown stone forms the floor. On the throne of silver, of gleaming or glittering silver, sits Rendell Halfmoon, the Duke of the Glide. Rendell Halfmoon has a long, kind of crooked nose, like a hawkish kind of nose. Thin, beady eyes that are a little too far apart. He has dark hair that is patchy in spots, and he is clearly beginning to go bald. Wears brilliant adornment of silver noble clothes and colors to match his magnificent hall. Next to him stands a woman adorned in leathers and a representative of the Grandland Company, and a halfling who wears the colors of the Grandbrush Conservatory. You guys are escorted in this hall. The four of you meet up, and you are escorted on either side by 8 guards, the Conservator of the Bulwark, and 4 wizards, 4 spellcasters.
So, is it too late to say that while during that wait in the cell, I would have put my Cloak of Many Fashions over anything they left me? So if they left me the mantle, I would have put the Cloak of Many Fashions over it.
Okay.
And then put me in as simple as clothing as possible. Nondescript, really boring, soldier-like clothing.
Alrighty. You're escorted in the hall. You see there your uncle. He is towards the front. You see your 2 mothers. You also see representatives of the other noble families, and it looks to be a packed house, full court. Everyone in proper regalia, and everyone being rather attentive. It is also eerily quiet.
Mm-hmm.
What does law state? That we get to speak with counsel before
Mm-hmm.
anything happens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, you were presented to the Duke of the Glide. I keep wanting to say the Duke of Narsley. The Duke of the Glide, Rendell Halfmoon. Everyone seems to be waiting with bated breath. And he is kind of kicked back in his throne.
Of course.
He's got one leg up over an armchair, and he's just sitting there like... you can see he has a little bit of chicken in his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bow or do whatever's courteous or standard greeting.
Okay. The guards part and now stand on either side of you. How y'all doing this evening?
Very well, thank you.
Miss O'Shea, how does tonight find you?
Healthy. And you?
I am having the most splendiferous of nights. My court is full, my coffers are fuller, and I have an attentive audience. I do not believe I know your names, although I've been told them in such fashion. How about you introduce yourself to your betters?
Warforged Sparrow, Warforged Sparrow, serial number 0314-9.
And what do you go by?
Selena.
I got a funny story from a little bird I happen to know. A bird I've cared for a number of years. Says you lot, showed up out of nowhere. Deep in the mines. They thought you'd teleported in. But I know better. Said you gave him quite a scare. Spooked him real good. Quite the homecoming for a lost member of the noble family. But appearing out of nowhere, spooking people, isn't a crime. And then the story gets a little stranger. The first stop you made was to the Deviled Dog, a home to criminals, a network of criminals. A place we've had our eye on for quite some time. And here's the real weird part. Within a few days, after consorting with criminals and linking up with the pop star Morgan, who has most recently been seen at a concert who saw the Grand Duke of Midrim assassinated, you left out of the Gate of the Locks, heading into the mist from apparently which you came before. And then this morning, some 36 hours or so after Alana Halfmoon saw you leave the gate, I get word that the Elder Hagathal of Benlock is dead. Isn't that interesting? So, I don't know what you've been told, but is there any way we can square this circle? Is there anything anyone would like to say in their defense?
So 36 hours as in like this morning?
36 hours from the time you left from the gates. I heard this morning. The gates the first time.
Okay.
Roughly.
I believe proper procedure is that we speak to council as was requested.
Council? Oh no.
It's my uncle. Not allowed to have a conversation with us.
Did someone say you were under arrest?
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm. Alana's like looking the other way. She's like, the guard may have shouted it. No. I would never say such a thing. Arresting.
Request was
No,
already
please,
made.
interrupt your lord. I would never arrest such a fair lady. You're not under arrest. I wouldn't put you in a jail cell, now did I?
Am I under arrest?
Yes, you are under arrest.
Council was requested for all four of us.
Oh, must have
Wait, is
gotten...
Dryden still here?
Dryden is there. God, I gotta remember that he's
Lord.
around. We'll
was
say
he arrested or anything?
No, we will say because
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been arrested. He
Yeah.
like darted off. That was like
Okay,
Dryden's
okay.
exit. That's
All
my
right,
bad.
Bail.
Was not prepared to roleplay him.
Did we get a new card before he left?
Sure.
Okay.
So, I wasn't aware that they were members of your family and retained counsel.
They were members of our contract to protect civilians when we were first hired. And as such, I was extending them the courtesy.
You're not still under that contract, though, are you?
That doesn't mean that we hadn't been through quite a bit of an ordeal before.
Well,
And have created some sort of a, I feel, somewhat of an obligation.
fair is fair. But listen, if you haven't done anything wrong, I don't think there's anything necessary for counsel and lawyers in the lot. We're all friends here. You're a lady of the meadows. Heir to the meadows. Sovelius has a reputation. I'm sure this is all a misunderstanding.
What does the looks on what did my parents and my uncle, like, what did their faces tell me?
They look concerned. Very concerned.
Still, though, the request has been made.
Well, we definitely want to follow the law. How about y'all have a nice meeting for about an hour, and then we reconvene?
That seems more than acceptable. We appreciate your generosity.
Indeed.
So, you guys will be placed in kind of like not a holding room, a meeting room, a conference room within in the castle with the Baroness of the Meadows, Lady of the Meadows, and Ronan the Esquire.
Once everyone else filters except for us, I'm gonna touch Gilly on the shoulder. Then I'm gonna talk.
Really quick though, we're not alone though. Who's all in the room with us?
You are going to be in a conference room with, unless you wanted to address the Duke, you're going to be in a conference room with the family.
Just the family.
Okay.
Don't say anything yet.
Alright.
I'm gonna let
Ronan.
Ronan speak first.
But did you have something before the? Were you trying to talk to the Duke, or were you just saying it's something like?
No. Once we were in the room with the
Okay.
family.
I want to hear what you say. I do. I'm interested. You do.
We were traveling to take care of an issue in the Glide.
Who are you saying that to? Sorry.
The
Ronan?
adults.
Okay.
We're all adults. Shit. The parents and the uncle.
And that's lawyer. Got it. Mm-hmm.
We were traveling to take care of an issue on the Glide's doorstep. There was a green dragon living in your caves. We had to go make sure we knew where she was, hence our travel time the first time. And the second time was we were prepared to meet her head on and either talk her into leaving the Glide or taking care of a molting dragon for you.
All right. So Ronan is a small halfling, as they all are, garishly dressed in brilliant colors, velvets and golds and red velvets and gold, and has a little beret. He's like, oh, that's Randall's voice. So you were just hunting the dragon. That's why you were beyond the mists.
I interrupt him with a hug.
Oh yes, of course. It's good to see you, niece.
I haven't seen you in ages. How are you?
How'd you guys get in this mess?
So
Pull out the dragon scales. I'm like, well, we did kill the dragon.
Yeah.
we came out of the mines because a train under your good Duke's purview was picked up by
The sort of storm.
picked up by
storms.
magical means and disrupted from the rest of the train. You guys should know this, right?
I'm
Of
sure this
course.
was highly publicized. I mean,
Yeah,
you were
sure.
aboard the train.
Right.
Yeah, we were aboard the car that got dislodged into the mist, and we had to find our way out.
I read about it in the papers.
By luck, we ended up in mines that we could get ourselves out of with people we knew.
That's good.
After that, we went to the Devil Dog to get a
We-
drink because it was the closest
We
pub.
went to the
we
closest pub to the mine.
I needed a stiff drink.
Yes.
Might want
after
to
that
pick a
heroin.
tavern with a more reputable reputation next
I wasn't
time.
thinking
It
very
was-
clearly.
Of course not.
We had been
Not after
chased by an
Stuck
undead
in the
T-Rex.
mists
It was,
for
it
Yes.
was very harrowing.
It was a lot.
That's all well and good.
Yes.
But let's talk about the state of this little game that they're
Yes.
playing.
Yes, of course.
Everyone knows the contract on record. Everyone knows about the contract on record with the O'Sheas. Rendell oversaw it. He knows. He knows that the Elder Hag is dead a couple days after you appeared, and pretty soon after you went through the Gate of the Locks. However, he doesn't have... If he had any eyewitnesses, he wouldn't have done all this rigmarole. He's waiting on you guys to falter. He's got time and circumstance on his side. It doesn't look good.
It's a full house.
Yes.
I'm assuming I haven't gone through a couple of court systems being part of the war.
Everyone's waiting with bated breath on this one.
I have a question.
Are they looking for a way to disown the O'Shea house?
If Gilly, the heir of the Meadows, is fallen into disrepute, based on the circumstances of lineacy, it would fall to the next adopted, but adopted children don't have the strongest claim. And whenever the elder of a house dies, it is always a potential that the Duke can repurpose the land and the house to a different name, especially when the natural heir is no longer eligible to inherit. This could determine the fate of the Meadows.
Are they able to induce by magical means truth from us? Is that legal in your society? I simply ask if we can be coerced into saying things that we otherwise would not.
Well, I'm here to represent you. I am schooled in the magical arts. I would know. And Gilly was right to make sure that I was summoned, but they did do the courtesy of already alerting us long before.
That's good.
So they are not able to coerce us with magic to speak.
Well, not her and not him, but the two of you are commoners. The laws are different.
I'm a simple servant.
Indeed.
They didn't take my invisible ring.
No,
of
they
mind
had no
shielding.
idea it was there.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to make this into a federal case, they can invoke the services of the Imperial Confessory. But if he invokes it into a federal case, then the dispute of the glide falls into the Presidium, which means he will lose the right of repurposing. Which means then the Presidium gets to decide who fills the medals. He doesn't want to do that. So you're safe from the Confessory for now.
Can we use this dragon as leverage? It's truthful.
I imagine it is a version of the truth of sorts, yes. It might be a good cover story. There's nothing else.
We literally killed her.
You did, but
we can point them to
everyone in this room also knows other things.
Knows what?
Don't be coy with me, boy. I invented being coy.
I did perform with Glitch opening for Morgan.
You did.
And I did need to rehearse.
You did.
Would we be able to call upon Morgan for her information as to the nature of those rehearsals?
We could, but the siren was there for those rehearsals.
The rehearsals the day of, yes.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I would rehearse just once for such a performance of such grandeur.
Yeah, the night before. Out in...
I'm specifically not saying anything.
I'm not saying it in character.
She's
in
quite
case of
taken.
things. Yeah.
She does.
That
That's
is
Alexa speaking.
That
not
is a
you.
path that we could pursue. Is there anyone you might have told or hinted at, either implicitly, explicitly, through subversive or overt means, the nature of your presence in Fallow Glen Holler?
I just stare at Justin.
I as well.
In any way, shape, or form? Through verbal, nonverbal, communicative, or anti-communicative means?
You have something to say there.
I might have informed the Mistress of the Mists that the Hag of Falcon Lock was deceased. It was when we were trying to ascertain additional information about the Green Dragon so that we could be best prepared to slay it.
That would explain why she's on the witness list of the preliminary hearings. Well, first they have to prove cause, and that's what this meeting is about. So, they're going to establish cause through circumstance and through the witness list.
What cause would I have to...
Cause for the trial.
No.
I'll reach out to Morgan, but I think I have one better.
Care to share?
The dragon play sounds pretty good, especially if you can provide proof of her death.
There is a corpse.
Threefold.
You actually all killed a dragon, you're not
Yes.
shitting me.
No. Yes.
We
There is
absolutely
a corpse of a
100%
dragon.
truthfully killed a dragon.
Okay.
And
These are the
two
skills.
rude.
And that was in
Yes.
Fall of Glen Holler?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Behind.
I'm glad she's dead.
We can lead you straight there.
How
The
would it-
body is there to be claimed anyway.
As long as I can present a alternative theory, they're probably going to get cause. But as long as I can present an alternative plausible theory, provide a few witnesses, perhaps some local citizens of Foul Glen Holler, such as people that Morgan knows, local citizens who can testify, we are going to have this thing. We can get by. If they had anything, we wouldn't even have gotten this far.
And perhaps the reason that Justice was aware that the Elder Hag was no longer present is because we considered her as the failsafe for Falaglen Holler, but once found out that she was no longer in existence, decided to take care of the dragon ourselves.
What did you say to her? Did you say, I did this lady in?
No, I said that I witnessed it.
God damn it.
Not give us some wiggle room. Just because you witness a crime doesn't mean you
That's
committed it. Failure to report is another matter, but we'll like our potatoes as they grow.
You can ask the Mistress of the Mists. I was unaware of the status of the hag as a citizen. I thought that she was merely a creature in the swamp that was killed. I've witnessed this on many occasions for other creatures. I was unaware that that was a crime and that it needed to be reported.
Good. We'll tackle the felonies first, and then we'll get to the misdemeanors. So we've got an alternative timeline. We've got potential witnesses.
Okay.
And I've got something I can say.
And I'm curious. So the charges are being levied at myself and Selena, not at Sevilius and Gilly.
No, they're being leveled off. Well, you are under arrest. They are under fair suspicion.
Understood.
They will be charged once they can flip you, is their plan. You can't just bring charges against the nobles. There's laws for this kind of thing.
Understood.
You and I are currently nobodies.
Selena, Selena. Gilly, may I ask you a question? In
How
private.
free are we to speak here?
I don't think we should be too freely with how we speak here.
That's where I was erring on the side.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Good.
With that in mind, sure. You understand what I mean there, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
It is
So I guess
in...
if we go off to the side or something.
There's also pen and paper in this room. It's a meeting
That's-
and conference room.
True, however,
If we're being scryed on.
yeah.
Right, and that leaves evidence. I'm just over
Any of that.
off to the side for you.
We're good.
Okay.
Like, it is true that you were practicing with I'm saying this. I'm whispering this, but I can't whisper. So at the table, it is true that you were practicing with Morgan and Glitch, also surreptitiously the night that we traveled to do the reconnaissance. Correct. For the concert?
We did speak about and plan for the concert.
Correct. And that is when I witnessed, as I did my own reconnaissance, that Agnes was killed.
I did not see that, but
In fact, you
sure.
did not. I did, because you were practicing. I did not
I
report it
didn't.
to anyone because I did not know it was a crime.
I didn't realize that.
I'm very simple. I'm not educated in such things as a warforged. Just making
Well-
sure that
Go ahead.
we understand the situation.
Yes. I think I understand, yes.
Thank you.
Is there anything else anyone would like to say in this meeting?
Would
Are
it?
there any
we should-
trigger words?
I'll say you and then him.
Are there any trigger words that we should avoid based on the politics in this region?
I did it. It was me. I'm guilty. Things like that.
Hags aren't real citizens.
I'll show you. I'll show all
Well,
of you.
Brunhilde wasn't.
No.
And also we
And-
saw the shop of
Grelda.
Grelda. Are they connecting the two dots?
They haven't presented that in finding, but we're not there yet. So.
Yeah, and Grilda's hag form wasn't a citizen, correct?
No, Brunhilde wasn't a citizen.
But
Grelda
I'm
was.
pretty sure you also said that Grelda in her hag form was not a citizen, right?
You're not too sure?
Okay.
She owned a shop in town. I
But she
think
wasn't.
there's-
She was
But she was not
concealed.
openly a hag in her
Or
shop
was
in
she?
town.
So. Then Rob, actually.
So I don't know if you have anyone that can head out to where we have the dragon body. We're going to look for a finder's fee when we came back and see if somebody wanted to harvest it for parts or materials. It may be good to send somebody out now. It is quite a long journey. And it is through the mist, so communication will be difficult.
All right. Are you looking to shop? Did you want us to pay the finder's fee?
No,
We just mean
even
for
just
somebody
make sure
to
that
not
somebody,
cover it up.
so that
Oh.
nobody covers it up, or if there's some conspiracy
Tries
being
to
levied
We've got
secure
against
the
us.
evidence.
We've got someone, and he notions to Faline, and Faline nods.
Perfect. I just want to make sure it's secure and that
yeah, if we're gonna use
we
it
can use it
for
and it's
our
not just-
timeline,
Right.
our true timeline.
Do you have
Yeah.
something?
We need to
Is there
make sure it
anything
doesn't
that could
disappear.
be
Exactly.
I was pretty transparent with me, Mom, so.
Is there anything that could be leveraged politically against the Duke? Him trying to levy charges against a group of heroes that recently saved the denizens of his country.
Well, no one knows that you saved us yet.
Once we have that evidence,
We might be able to make this his not his Waterloo, that doesn't exist. His Waterloo. I can't think of a fancy location.
Dragon.
Yeah, his
Dragon
his
King.
Dragon Loo.
the battle.
We might be able to make this his Waterloo, but I mean that's up to me. That's up to the post spin if we get past this.
Mm.
Understood.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So we went in the first time to do some reconnaissance.
Yes. You also used that opportunity to surreptitiously meet with Morgan and Glitch in order to do preparation for your concert. I used that opportunity to seek out the hag and found that she was murdered. I did not know this was a crime.
Right.
I went
Alexis
for
is
protection.
just trying to make sure that she's got stuff straight. That's all. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm just thinking.
We also did reconnaissance for the dragon, obviously, finding our way to the stone table, which is on its way. Tracking our path. Satisfied that we had to do this on our own, we returned and gathered whatever resources that we needed, which included visiting the spire and speaking to the mistress of the mists, warning her of such a creature.
Trying to gather as much information as possible
Indeed.
so that we could save Bridgeton.
And I
And-
had.
You two were watching me practice to give me feedback,
I definitely was.
right? I remember you being there, Civilius
Yes.
and Selena.
They
We
did.
were.
Were you there the whole time, Selena? I was a
Yes.
little distracted.
I don't think that you ever were separated while we were there, no.
Correct. Okay.
And then I also have a stack of books at the library that they checked out on dragons.
Really?
This is true.
Yes.
Yes, we had that,
Paperwork.
and they're
For
still
For 2
actually
days.
they're
And
still
Thank
on
God.
hold,
And
I
we,
believe.
yes, we
They
went
are.
in
They are.
and
Non-DM voice, they are.
Yeah.
and
I
we
know.
went in to check those books before we went into Fallaglen Holler the first time.
All right.
And I got
So-
quite accosted by the mistress of the mist for trying to check out somebody's books.
Well, I'm sure Naz will remember. Okay. Well, I have enough for this.
I am right? Alexis is right.
You're
That
doing-
we
yeah.
checked the books
Yes.
before
Yeah,
we
we
went
did.
out the
Oh, yeah.
first time. Yep.
Yep, because we
Yeah.
went past the waterfall that I keep getting confused with the other
Yes.
waterfall.
Yes. Right.
Because
I
every
know
dragon
it.
should be behind a waterfall.
And cue Cascade Waterfall.
So, you guys are you done with the time? Are you good on your notes there? Sorry, I didn't want to end the scene.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
writing as you go.
Okay.
As you.
So you exit out of the conference room and are waded onto the back into the grand hall room, and again, it is eerily quiet for such a large room.
Before we go out, though,
Yeah.
can I ask from Ronan? So what are the following proceedings? What can we expect to happen?
So they're going to have to establish cause based on any witnesses or evidence that they have. So Naz's testimony will be crucial for them finding cause, and then that they will proceed. It's the Duke is the judge for now, so it's up to him whether or not he wants to pursue the case. He's also the jury,
Right.
of course,
And
also the executioner.
are we aware of
It's a feudal society.
any other so-called witnesses?
Well, we'll
Other
get
than
to those,
Naz.
but for a cause hearing, we just have to have at least some semblance of an alternative timeline.
And while they are questioning the witness, the mistress of the mists, were we able to interject or provide
No.
additional
No,
clarification?
there's no cross-examination on a cause. This is the first of many.
Understood.
Yeah.
When we walk back
We're
out,
here to
if we
stand up for our dress.
walk past
Forward.
Alana,
Of course.
half
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
can I ask her to get me a drink?
Sure. a drink. She's like, I'll get you one afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to even give him some water?
Yes, water. Something to drink while I'm up there. I'm parched.
You can't drink in front. It's not a cocktail. It's court. You can't drink in front of your betters.
I said,
You can't
not
have
even
lunch.
water.
No, you don't sit
you
and
don't
drink
get
and
water?
consume in front of the Duke when you're standing. in his
I'm
presence.
picturing a courtroom with
Yeah,
that
like-
extra water.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, it's not
that's
a
what I was
courtroom. It's,
picturing.
this is not a civil courtroom.
Okay.
You are an
Yeah.
So we're
audience.
going to be standing.
Yeah,
in
I guess
the
the
you're
elves
place.
standing there just drinking water.
Okay, then
I guess
that
the elves
makes
do it
sense.
differently.
This
Sure.
is not. This is
My
not.
apologies. It's been a while. Traditions change
You're not-
so much.
Yeah.
Elven courts were more
Yeah, it's
civilized.
a more civilized time.
Everyone had gin and tonics while they were in court.
That's gold. Okay. Elven courts were more civilized. I love it. Okay, so you guys are escorted back into the thing, and you see the Duke, and so in order, you see that Ronan has all of his notes prepared, and he's like, "We will start with this is just a simple cause hearing, so we will just start with the timeline of the prosecution." First and only witness at this time to establish cause that we may proceed to the second hearing will be Naz, Mistress of the Mists and Keeper of the Obfuscarant Spire. And the doors, and you see Naz in has her cobalt blue monk robes on, as she normally does, the deep cobalt blue, or another cerulean in this setting. Monk wrappings. And she also has a staff that you've never seen before, a little bow staff. And she has robes that seem to be kind of ornate. They have like a few stains on them and stuff. And her hair is all crazy, and it's all like gathered up and on one side. And she's like marches through, and you can see people just part when she moves on through. And she's not even stopping. She's just...
Quick question, just for my own edification. Is Naz historically been very impartial?
Apolitical.
Apolitical. Perfect. That's all I need to know.
I have been summoned by the Duke of the Glide, Rendell Halfmoon, insofar as to provide an account for certain statements given to me and actions taken thereafter. And she's spoken out of turn, and everyone's like, the Duke. Yeah, that's the Herald's job. Right. So, tell us what you saw, Naz. Tell us what you heard. Tell us why we're all here. If you will forgive me, I believe that this gathering may have been an error. Upon arriving to the Obfuscarant Spire on one of the very first days after emerging from the mines, as I've been told, they told me that they had gained intel whereabouts about a green dragon that was in the mists. Then they said insofar that this dragon was conspiring with the Elder Hag of Falloglin the Elder Hag of Falloglin to launch an attack on an imminent attack on the Silver Gates. Is in my office of the Mistress of the Mist and the Keeper of the Obfuscarant Spire. I then used my executive authority to send them on a reconnaissance mission, not intending to be initially lethal or violent. They were unfortunately provoked, and I did scry on them while during their mission. They were unfortunately provoked into violence by the Elder Hag, whose plot had been unveiled. They returned to me, and then I sent them immediately, knowing that the Green Dragon's most trusted confidant was had been taken, that she would move quickly and potentially escape. I sent them again on a mission. I'm sorry that there were too many moving parts that I was not able to inform you in time, but I was acting on my authority as the Mistress of the Mist and the Keeper of Obfuscarant Spire, a post which I have held for 50 years.
I am staring at Rendell, or not Ronan, the entire time this is happening.
Ronan, you see Ronan go. And you see Rendell Halfman. He's just like,
No reaction at all. Very straightforward.
well then, this was obviously all a miscommunication. The scribe quarters have been working late. They must have misread. Court's dismissed, and he gets up and leaves.
Absolutely as you watch it. That's understandable. Don't worry about it. It was good to meet you.
You see Naz look over at you. She spins around and leaves.
Does she catch that I nod at her?
Yeah. So Court is like they're all like speaking and talking to each other, and there's quite a bit of an uproar.
Is now the time we drink?
Turn to one.
Lana Halfman's like, I'll get you your drink.
Thank you.
Turn to the guard next to me, like, I would like my things, please.
Oh,
yeah, we'll
yes.
give them to you. You can't have them in the hall. Oh no, you can't. Sorry, this is Gishari. You can have them in the hall.
Right.
Yeah. They bring you guys weapons and items. When you see the guard part, you see. No, never mind. Yeah. So yeah, the guard comes back with your stuff. You have your armaments. You're in the grand hall. What do you wish to do? Ronan kind of saunters over. He's like, well then, that worked out. And thank you for talking to me about the Green Dragon.
So about that finder's fee.
Yes.
That can be worked out. How big was she?
Adult dragon,
Mm-hmm.
barely.
Adult.
Large.
An old
She
adult
was-
dragon.
Hmm?
She was almost. She was. Oh, sorry.
Almost.
Oh yeah, she was
right?
almost adult. Yeah, sorry.
She had not
God, I
quite.
almost messed up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, old,
was-
young, but yeah, almost adult.
We're
And,
not dragon
and
experts.
2 whelplings.
Yeah.
Two youngins.
So a good-sized dragon, about upon her change then.
Yeah,
Yes.
large.
Mm.
Very close to a change. If we hadn't acted when we did,
The
would have been a
whole
whole different story here.
Falkland Holler would have been significantly in danger.
I mean, you don't have to sell me on it. Normally, I'd give the old lowball on this, but obviously, I'm not going to lowball family. We'll pay.
Should we go to the Half Moons instead?
We'll give you the finder's fee. We'll give you $6,000.
Okay.
6,000 gold pieces.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, it's the going rate for a fine. It's
Okay.
literally like Dragon Corpse here. You do all the work.
Got it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it's
Yeah.
better or worse. Or...
No, that's the top dog. The range is like 4,000 to 6,000. He's giving you top
So
dollar.
since it's family, knowing that the dragon has no blood, would that be a thing that we tell them?
If you want to be honest and respectful, yes. You guys didn't mention that.
How do you even tell him?
just
So,
Dragon's blood is very valuable.
yeah.
So, out of respect, as you are Gilly's family, dragon has no blood.
No, they do. They have blood.
no,
It's
this,
weirdly drained
was
out.
This one doesn't.
Where'd you take it to?
We
We didn't do anything. Like it just seeped out and it went to the into this pool and just disappeared.
Wait, isn't it still there? We swam out of it, or did it like
No,
evaporate?
it's
It was
gone.
Oh.
It disappeared with her gold pile.
It seems to have evaporated.
Well then, 6,000 gold will still do. There's the whelplings. That didn't-
Great.
I think they
Thank
still
you
have
for
their
that.
blood.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm imagining
That's
like the
true.
dragon's just like jerky right now. Just
So we'll
Not
pay you.
quite.
We'll pay that out in
Not that
whenever we
big, it's
find the
strange.
whenever we find it. A couple days or
It's a-
so.
I mean, it's a better state of preservation now with the blood in the system. So.
And Lafonway is looking at you. She's like, so, when I asked you that if whether or not you were going to hunt a dragon, you told me no. That was what we call a lie in this family.
Well, you see,
She didn't want to worry you.
because everything had been going on, but I also knew you probably knew anyway. So,
No, I didn't know.
okay.
If I knew there was a mist, there was an evil dragon attempting to annihilate us in the mist, I would have done something.
Sorry, Mom.
She handled herself very well.
I hope so.
I counterspelled everything she tried to
She
do.
did.
Good job.
Just like you
It's
told
amazing.
Just
You
like
taught
I
her
learned.
well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, well, we're heading back to the manor.
Are we still welcome?
Of course. You got arrested. Who hasn't? She walked.
Yeah, this isn't the first time, and it
Is
won't be the
Ronan
last.
still there?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Ronan.
Ronan,
the
yeah,
Esquire.
Yeah,
too.
Ronan.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him a question.
Yeah.
Aside from us, or
You know, like while you guys were having
in
some
your shop?
revelry,
Yeah.
like you.
It's
if
like
you're
a,
trying to,
you know-
you guys
Oh,
are talking.
that's fine. I was just curious.
As the Duke pointed out, when we emerged from the mists after the harrowing accident on the train and traveling up through the mine shaft, I witnessed what appeared to be several laws being broken and civil liberties being trampled. The Duke was as good as to point out that we had traveled through the mine, and I thought it might be good to bring it to somebody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, as a man of the law, if there's anything that can be done.
Well, my understanding is that, and Faylene kind of cuts in, she's like, I did raise the issue to
Oh, did you?
them at the
Yeah.
council meeting. I did.
Okay.
Sorry I haven't gotten the chance to update you guys. Have been in and out. I did raise the issue, and the hog callers, the Good Barrels, and I are meeting on it because they're the unionists. We are attempting to make sure we are having additional inspectors in the lower parts of the mines.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And they're also the Grandling Company is being fined.
I'm sure that will teach them a lesson.
It's all we have, Justice.
Is it a percentage fine or a flat fee?
It's I'll be honest with you, it's not much. It's a lot to you and I, it's not much to the Grandling Company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a proverbial slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
Nothing really
Are
to
you-
deter them.
Are
It's
any of the-
50,000 gold, but they make that in a day.
Are any of the perpetrators being punished or their jobs taken away?
We are hiring additional inspectors, and they are being fined. That is the punishment.
Understood.
Systems.
Would it be helpful for them to have an entrance into the mines that the Lanegs are unaware of?
The inspectors? No. These are formal inspectors. We don't want them.
Can I trip over something and like push Gilly?
Roll sleight of hand.
She's 3 feet tall.
Roll sleight of hand.
If you're gonna do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Alrighty.
You said it.
I did.
What'd you get?
6.
She very rudely bumps into you, and you're not sure why. She's like, "Bleh." Like, can I help you? You all right there? You've been hitting the glass already.
It's been a long day, right?
We've been running for a very long time.
She is looking a little green.
Okay.
Let's get back to the
Very
manor.
good, Justice. Very good. You're learning quickly.
Oh man.
Let's get back to the manor, away from all these, I'm sure, non-prying eyes and ears.
Of course.
Okay.
So what do you wish to do? You guys are escorted out of Cassilian Agrid.
We get all our stuff back.
Yes, you
And all of
your
it's
stuff
the
back?
way we left
Yep.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not going to tamper with anything.
Perfect.
When would it be?
I'm gonna go
forward?
sleep. I'm tired. That
What?
poor little human me who has to sleep for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Or did you want to? What did you have, Justice?
I'd like to go talk to Naz as soon as is tactful or appropriate.
Okay, you can do that immediately.
Make sure you're not being followed.
I'm gonna go. I mean, you guys can join if you want. I know that some people need to sleep, some people don't.
No,
I'm not
it,
gonna keep that a secret.
it would make sense for us to go speak with Naz since we were unable to speak with her upon our return. So it makes sense for us to speak with Naz. I don't see anything weird about that.
Alrighty. Who would like to go to the Obfuscarate Spire?
I will come along.
How
I will-
long is that journey?
It's Bridgeton nicely is it's all kind of it's structured very well to where it's a little out of the way, so you got to go from Cassilian Agrid to Landig to Ragreath, and then into the Bruini into Tehran. So it's a little out of the way.
Okay, alright.
Actually, now I think about it, it's actually pretty out of the way.
So Selena timeline. After this dawn, we are going back to the Devil Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not being tailed this time. And then, so that's this coming evening, because we've already used the 2 days I'd asked for.
Yeah, You're coming up on it, yeah. Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
I need to start writing like timeline stuff down. But
Well,
yes.
it was going to be in 4 days.
4 days from 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah. So
But
we have.
If you want to push
2
it up a
more
day,
days,
that's fine
right?
too. Yeah.
I'm more like, can I sleep in if I go with you guys? Because we clearly can't leave them by themselves.
I didn't tell anyone anything.
You didn't stop him either.
I was busy reading books.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not a moron. I just did not realize that this creature was a citizen.
If you go back and watch the video, Rob says we have first-hand knowledge.
Seriously?
Yes, you said that.
Oh.
I wasn't there. I wouldn't know that.
Right.
Good God.
But no, but justice, like, at the implication of that
Good
justice can't
job.
be trusted on his own, justice does say, I'm not a moron. I was not aware that this was a citizen.
Vilius isn't shut.
I challenge to know if you knew that the hag was a citizen of this society.
No, just having been a spy, usually no matter whether they're a citizen or not, you don't tell anybody you've killed someone.
Something.
Okay. So point of order though.
Conscientious.
We were supposed to have 4 days from the moment we went to speak with.
Yeah, that's but you can also push that up if you want.
Okay.
Right.
We
have
So
time.
we have 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So you're fine. You don't have to worry about having to get up. And
Thank you
leave
for
the thing.
writing that down.
Yep.
So are you all going to the spire, or?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So you arrive at the Hobfuscarant Spire. Miss, I've described it like 3 or 4 times
Yes.
now.
I don't know what it looks like. Can you please?
It looks like this, right? Just surrounded in
Yeah,
mist.
exactly.
Sure.
It's a
Yeah.
Lego tower.
It is a Lego
Which we
type
should
tower.
we should show those at break actually to make sure that people can see how glorious
Yeah.
our Lego towers are.
'Cause
Or your Lego tower.
That's okay. There will be more.
Takes you 4 hours.
That
The
table.
Did you
Dice
what?
Priori is going to become a Lego tower selling business. This is our plan.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Quit my job.
So, you arrive in. You enter and you can see Naz is kind of moving things around. She's like, she looks up, she glances up, rolls her eyes, gets back. She's like she seems to be organizing things. It's pretty messy in here, even more than usual. Welcome to the Hobfuscarant Spire. How can I help you?
I don't think we'll be needing those books on reserve anymore, correct?
True.
Naz, I would like to thank you for what you did today.
You're welcome.
Is there a particular reason why?
Not sure how plainly we should speak.
May I have? Can you come closer?
You come closer.
Not you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were only speaking to Justice. Sorry, Matt.
That's on brand for Naz.
Yeah.
Are you well?
I am. Thanks to you.
Did they hurt you?
No. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was notified the case against you this morning. Ronan told me about certain things, and then he had me listen in on the conference meeting. I'm not like you. I'm not like a lot of people. I'm not a criminal. I'm not an assassin. I believe in laws and rules and order. I believe they should work for people. I don't know why I did what I did. In my 50 years of this office, I haven't really stuck my neck out for anyone. But I did what I did because you're the first person in 50 years. And then when they walked in this tower, they didn't make me feel like I didn't belong.
Your gesture will not go unforgotten. If there is anything that I can ever do for you, to repay.
It's all right. I imagine if I need you, I'll ask. You'll make your decision then.
I apologize for putting you in this situation.
It was my choice. I could have sold you down the river.
No one has ever put themselves in that kind of position for me before.
I did it gladly. Like I told you, I didn't particularly care for the Elder Hag. I thought it was awful when they made that deal. But it's the way of the world.
Now Gilly's sibling is safe.
Yes. You're all safe.
If you ever need to find me,
Where are you going next?
I believe that we might be going to... What's the dwarf city word?
Fort Mountain Hall.
Fort Mountain Hall.
Fort Mountain Hall and Mercinia.
When you arrive to each new city, could you write me a letter? You're the only friend I have.
Of course. As I believe that you would be considered the only friend that I have as well. I have comrades whom I fight next to. But that takes time.
I'm happy to hear that. Take care.
Thank you.
Need anything else, come by. Don't go around murdering any more citizens.
Can't make promises, Naz.
Have a nice night.
As we whisper over there to each other for...
Can we hear any of this?
With roll perception. Let's find out. Together.
Go.
Everyone's out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
This die
concerned
tower
about
is
it.
murdering my life. 9.
You don't hear much. You hear that the one line you did hear is like, you're the first person who never made me feel out of place. Because she said that rather loudly. She doesn't have a lot of volume control.
Did I hear the word belonging as well in that?
Oh, yeah?
Perfect.
22.
You heard most of it.
Got it.
You got elven ears, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's not attempting. You heard more of the Naz side, but yeah, good enough.
That's
Burn
Your
that-
dice
Ah,
tower
nat 20,
is
there.
cursed.
Wonderful.
there were like
Sterling
6
control.
single digits in a row. That's why I was like, God damn it. And
Alright.
it rolled really well for me yesterday.
Dice are random.
You guys told me you don't no longer need the books on reserve?
True.
Okay. Alrighty then. You guys exit the keeper. They can't talk. The obfuscarant spire and head back to O'Shea Manor, or
Justice, you wound me. I thought we were friends.
We are comrades. Your friends can fall in battle next to you.
I guess that's true. In time.
Before we leave, I just say to Naz, I'm not sure where all the jurisdictions and everything particularly lie, but I know that Nima, the Baroness of the Meadows, is getting together with a few of the other houses to discuss the terms of the arrangement between the Lanegs and the Grandling Company, and whether or not they're lawfully carrying out their end.
it's not my business.
Well, should you be inclined, or should it become your business, I can tell you what we saw was that they were not keeping up their end of the law.
I have heard.
Okay.
I do attend council meetings, but my purview is everything outside of Bridgeton.
Right. That makes sense. Well, I greatly appreciate what you said today. And I'll remember it. If you need anything, let me know.
Have a nice night.
You too.
Alrighty. So, you guys make your way back to the meadows, yes? No nighttime excursions?
Yeah.
I can
need
get
to-
as many drinks at the manor.
We're gonna go back out to Pelican Holler. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
We have some business to finish.
Let's find some
As we're walking back, because it's a bit of a walk.
Yeah, it is.
I believe that there is something extremely important that needs to be discussed either now or once we return. Before drinks are had.
Perhaps when we get inside.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Can I see if we're still being followed?
Roll perception. Love it. Spy stuff.
I'm legitimately concerned now
Natural
too.
20.
Oh, you are being followed.
Who's
Yeah.
following us?
Oh God.
Do I recognize him as one of the Duke's people?
God, this is bad. You see a number, so as you're moving along, so you're moving along, and it starts to dawn on you pretty much almost immediately that you might be being followed, and so you start being more aware and more perceptive as you kind of approach faster and faster, particularly as you get closer to the Landing Bastion. You've already moved past Landing Bastion and have begun to enter the meadows when you start to see, it's a decent hustle and bustle in the meadows. It's its own city and stuff.
Even at 2 in the morning where we're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like this night is really, this night is very, a lot of parties tonight, I guess. And but basically what you make out is with your natural 20 is there's more than one of them, and they are you are being followed all along the way, and people are passing off on shifts, one after another, an intricate team, well-oiled
That's what
machine.
the 26 gets me.
That's some shit out of the wire.
And it reminds you of the College of Whispers.
Even though they don't have a house here.
Exactly. You are being tailed by what are known as whispers. Shades.
Okay.
Shades, yeah, not whispers. No, he does other kinds of missions.
Huh?
We should save our conversation.
So you're you guys want to talk? And he's like, shit, fuck no.
I didn't want to talk now. I said when we get back in.
So you guys ride back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to be one of those players that butts in. Is there any chance that I would notice, having been from the College of
roll
Whispers?
perception.
I don't want to be me too.
So
you
if
know.
you had given me anything, I would have leaned over and whispered in your ear.
So you
There's
informed the
6 of
group.
them.
Weird, yeah.
Well, I would have informed him.
I rolled a
and then
19 on
when
the
we
die.
get back to
20.
You're
Yeah.
being tailed by a team of shades.
Oh, great. So I know I eventually noticed you after I'm not distracted.
Yeah.
Oh,
And to give you an idea, so you're an affiliate in the College of Whispers. Shade is above you. You're being
great.
You're being tailed by spies that are better than you.
Yeah. We got lucky.
Spy stuff. I'm so glad
I was I realized I never rolled for them, but yeah, you definitely spotted them.
Yeah, for
Wonderful.
26,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yep. Alrighty, so you arrive in O'Shea Manor. The welcome, warm smell of baked pastries and cookies greet you with hot cocoa as well. That smell.
Cocoa.
Mm-hmm. It's the cold and fall night.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And I don't know what else, or perhaps teas, any kind of warm liquid to kind of help you to be comforted.
Mhm.
Nice. Also really high in the mountains, so.
Right.
Do you wish to meet with your parents or just us?
They're in the dining room,
Well-
waiting for you guys.
Got it.
Whatever you wanted to say. Was it just to us?
The 4 of us.
Okay. How
That
about
should wait.
right now then?
This
In the foyer or whatever.
yeah, not the
when
formal
we're
dining
alone.
room, the sitting room.
Yeah.
Can
Before we get to the rest of the family. Did you want to say something?
It might inform what our next steps in our journey are. If we do not have sufficient time to discuss now, it can wait till we return to the room. I just think it should be done before any carousing.
Well then, speak your piece. Yes? No?
Like, if we're being followed, I'll say, I believe that I have reason to believe that we were being followed on the way back to the room. I'd like to take some kind of precautions.
We weren't just being followed. It wasn't just one. So there are different levels of tailing. Spy stuff.
Not horse stuff, but spy stuff.
This time it's spy stuff.
If we're being followed, it would probably be safer to save these conversations for before we go to bed. We can
Precisely.
make a
I
hut.
believe-
Sure, that makes sense.
I
Okay.
think we're safe on O'Shea property. So my 20s.
Yeah, in the manor, you're definitely safe.
Oh, okay.
Faintly,
Oh.
the
Yeah.
Conway has magical protection.
Right.
We're,
Okay.
we're safe.
And I would
on-
make that known.
Perfect.
So.
We're safe on O'Shea property.
Yeah.
When we go into the, not that we should split up, but if we move in pairs, it would make it more difficult to follow us if we go out in the future.
That's
we
fine.
go
They
out.
can follow me.
There was a covert team, yes.
6 minimum.
Anyway, if we were having this conversation now, Gil and I received what I would call a distressing letter from Cthulhu separately. It seems that Professor Vasilier has revealed his true colors. He is slaughtering Warforged and using them to perform experiments on Cthulhu.
That's problematic.
It is.
Yeah,
They're in
that is
Fort
very
Hall,
unfortunate.
and I think that we should probably go there next.
With all due haste, cannot be allowed to stand.
What were our plans before that?
I
Mercenaria.
believe Mercenio was
Yes.
next on our trip. But yes,
They've waited 6 or 7 years. They can wait a little bit longer.
exactly. If we if what your letters say is true, then we cannot delay.
Cthulhu is his letter to me was talking about asking what it means to kill, and he seems apprehensive about what Professor Vasilier is doing. And he reached out to myself and to Justice. He said to each of us, because we were the first people that have shown him any sort of kindness in this world so far.
Can
Right?
you
Right?
can
And,
you send him back a message?
I intend to respond to him, yes, tonight.
I believe that we can work together to pin that message.
Yes.
Tell him we're coming.
But
We wish to help our friends. Specifically use the word friends.
yes, I am concerned, though, about Professor Vasilier, his demeanor. Did
He didn't
when he sent you that sword, did he send any sort of message with it?
No, just the sword and a scroll of magic circle.
Is he being truthful there?
Yeah.
I think he had included
did-
some kind of letter
you
about
did
like
get a letter.
there is so much more like
Yeah.
The flicker of Kosuth was large. I'm making
Oh,
more items.
yeah.
Okay.
nothing in
He
sight.
didn't
Nothing.
say anything about what he's up to?
No.
Well,
I feel left out. I didn't get a letter.
yeah.
How well do you know
Yes.
Professor Vasilier?
Barely at all.
Any more than you do?
He didn't.
I had just
seem-
met him on our journey.
He didn't seem a man that would kill. I mean,
He did seem a man who would kill bandits.
Oh.
He advised that we go in and slaughter the bandits.
And he did specifically use the term despots. Maybe it was
It should have been
forgetting.
like not despots, because despot is a ruler.
Right.
I misspoke. It's like he meant more
Degenerates.
like not degenerates. Well,
Sorry.
like low downs, like basically
Gotcha.
yeah, river rat, rats.
Labeling.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, you'll forgive me. He did not seem to be all there.
That was a joke because he's
He's not all
Pieces.
there.
Yes.
Yes.
Now is not the time, Justin.
I don't know. I just Chase said that, not just.
the mines affected us.
Yeah, he could have been afflicted by the mines, or just this was the one that pushed him over the edge. One too many.
Or maybe this is
Or
how he
maybe
always
this is how he
was.
is.
Yeah.
One way or another,
Or maybe
we can't let him murder people.
Correct.
or maybe the letters that we received from Cthulhu weren't 100% of the picture, but we don't really know.
Is there any reason for them to deceive you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there any
But,
reason for this to be a trap? Because this sounds like a trap.
Well,
It
based
most
off of the
definitely
letter,
probably is a trap.
Cthulhu was very unhappy about the slaying of the Spectre. He said it was his only friend.
He did. Yes.
He seems to be very confused. I would say that he's likely impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
Does the handwriting on... So, the handwriting, you got a letter from Viselier and the two of you got a letter from Kathunk.
Ah, we
Is
should
the
compare
writing
the
the
writing.
same?
When we get back to the room,
Just in case.
unless you have the letter on you.
No, it's in my stuff. In there.
Does anyone here have proficiency in calligraphy or forgery? You do?
I thought forgery.
I'll just check. I don't know.
We could also check with my uncle.
Oh, is charlatan actually?
Yeah, charlatan.
So you can
He's
check.
forgery.
If we want to run up to the room really quick and get the letters to compare. Yep.
You have something? Sorry, hold on. Did you have something?
Did you want to let your parents
I was
know
about
that
to say,
we're here, but
Mama,
we'll
we're home. We're gonna unload and come right back down.
All right, yeah, come out of the foyer. You're all sitting there having a whispered conversation in the foyer, you
Sorry.
weirdos.
Sorry.
It's almost like you have teenagers in the house again.
It's making me feel younger and older at the same time.
I literally am a teenager.
You are.
Are they
That's
older
right.
than me?
1 of 4.
No, you're 400 years old.
I didn't know how loud.
No, they're
halflings lived
like
for.
Lefanwe I think
I
is
knew it was,
60,
like,
and then
longer.
Faylene is like 75. I
Okay,
think, yeah.
I knew like halflings had a longer
No,
lifespan. I
but
didn't know.
they're
if it was
no,
close.
they're not elf. No, yeah, you're like 400 years old.
So we go up there and compare?
Yeah. Roll your forgery check. Does it label what it is? I don't actually know.
It's tools. I'm guessing it would probably be
So we'll
intelligence.
take intelligence proficiency for deciphering. It's probably dexterity plus proficiency for. Yeah.
I'll give
For
you guidance.
forgery.
But we'll do intelligence plus
Guidance?
proficiency plus 1d4.
And I can't assist him in any way, shape,
You
or
could cast
form.
enhance ability intelligence.
There you go.
And does that give advantage?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's piloting on. They're just touching me while I'm doing it.
She has to declare she's actually doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
I will actually give you proficiency in intelligence.
Okay. 10, 13 plus my intelligence modifier is 14, 15 plus my proficiency 18.
Yeah. Cathunk's letter is written by someone different than Facilia's letter. You have nothing to Cathunk. The two letters you got from Cathunk are written by the same person. You have no sample of his handwriting to know,
Right.
but they are written by two different people, and those your two letters are written by the same person. You're written by another, but you have no comparative handwriting. So, yep.
Okay.
By the shape of the W, I can tell that he has mommy issues.
Oh Lord. No. Okay. Well, there's no reason to believe it wasn't Catholic writing the letters then.
Okay. We should still travel with caution when we go. That's
Correct.
without saying.
Agreed.
And,
So maybe tonight, maybe tonight we can talk about how to construct a response and what exactly we want to say.
we need a response. We need a timeline, and then
We don't want to give them a timeline.
Or we could do the same thing that we did when we went to Still Tower and give Erky an incorrect timeline.
We could.
we're coming. But we need to let Kathunk know that he has friends showing up.
Yes.
You should respond to Vasilier as well with a thank you, so that it doesn't look weird that Kathunk gets notes.
I did. Did I?
You can
Oh,
say
I
you
thought
did.
I would have probably responded with a thank you. I've received this.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
I mean,
We could also ask Vasilier that we have more contract work for you. When could you be free? And bring him to us.
how did the letter get to us? Like, is it we're like post?
There is an entire infrastructure for. There's a post office.
And Fort
essentially.
Mountain Hall's not like abandoned ruins.
No, it's
like
a capital city.
Okay.
It was abandoned at one point. in
Okay, I
time.
remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that being said. Okay,
No.
so it came from Fort Mountain Hall. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, unless he sent it, there's no way that we can. There's no way that we can truly respond surreptitiously if Dr. Vasilier or Professor Vasilier is monitoring Kathunk's correspondence. I would say that we only indicate friendship, as was said. I would say that we could provide some kind of indication that we are traveling that way, but be ambiguous on time. I worry to, if he is in an unstable position in terms of what he is feeling, if we indicate that we are taking our time, or not coming quickly, it might unbalance him more.
You
So I would
said
just say that we're on our way.
you said he was targeting Warforged, yes?
That is what it indicated. They killed Warforged and were using them to bolster the fortitude and ability of Kathunk.
If he is...
He said that he was killing others like you. Correct?
And using their bodies, he said,
Right.
I'm quite formidable.
Yes.
I do not know what he has done to Cthulhu.
You have proven yourself a adversary, at least with us in tow, for Cthulhu and his specter before this. We need to make sure that this is not recruitment for your parts.
That's a fair point.
If what Cthulhu is saying is true, Vasilier will pay for his crimes.
He should not be allowed to take people, and Warforged are people.
I will just not to diminish the loss of life at all. I just want to make it understood that technically, under the letter of the law, if he's going after Warforged who are considered to be, what's the word? Conscripted, and I can't think of the words that are appropriate.
He said he was killing criminals.
Right.
Criminals and brigands, we'll say, not
Right.
despots.
If they've abdicated their responsibilities under their conscription, the criminality might not actually lay upon Vasilier, right? Is that
Yeah, they would
law-wise?
essentially be property, and he would be carrying out a bounty.
I'm not saying that I agree with what he's doing. I'm just making sure you understand legally, like it
He may
wouldn't-
not have broken any law.
correct.
And can you tell me, you had mentioned something to me before, so like Warforged who are unable to pay off there's a situation in which they can come to this scenario out of their own choosing, right? Like their contracts are up, or is this...
Conscription is like what you have to work off because you were made. We made you. We spent a lot of money on you. Okay, now you have a contract to live out.
And so these are Warforged that maybe have absconded.
They
on their
left
contracts
because
and
they
all.
didn't want to be conscripted anymore. Yes.
And so this is near the Stone Marsh?
I know it's on the eastern side, but there's a lot of Warforged the further you go down south. There's about 2 million Warforged in the country.
So I just, because of today's events, I just think we need to understand the legalities of any actions we're going to undertake and any other person's actions. That's all I'm saying. We just need to consider those.
What he's doing is unacceptable.
I agree. I just need to make sure that we're understanding exactly what the letters of the law indicate and how that affects us as well.
We just need to keep
That's all.
out for being tailed and don't tell anyone anything.
Legality notwithstanding, justice will be served one way or the other.
As long as you're
Understand,
not
and I'm not
actually
trying to
served.
impede it.
What was that?
As long as you're not actually served.
Right. You don't want to get arrested in the process.
No, I was thinking as parts on a silver platter.
Oh, see, I was thinking served with, like, legal,
Chicken.
like, yeah.
Gilly,
You're being arrested.
Selena.
Shit's
both
passing
had-
in the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we...
Perfect.
Well, seeing as Civilier is a law-abiding... Sorry,
Vasilier.
seeing as Vasilier is a law-abiding citizen of this country, I would clearly not go gallivanting and bragging of whatever deed was done.
However, Cthulhu is not. We can manage one thing at a time.
And we also need to be concerned, because if Vasilier is not in his right mind, does that change how you feel about things? If we do find that he is under some sort of influence still from those minds, and his mind isn't
That doesn't mean we can just kill him.
right. So how do you feel, how would your position and your...
If the evidence that his mind had been corrupted was undeniable, that might change things, if he can be corrected.
Do you
If he
have
cannot-
the ability to do that?
I have a couple abilities.
Do you know if Well, all I have to my disposal is to spell magic, but this feels deeper.
I have a bit of a minor restoration spell. It's a bit lesser, if you would.
Are there any other spells?
Well, it worked before when he was blinded. It worked to cure his blindness. Now I don't know whether or not if he has some sort of affliction from the mines, whether or not that same spell would work.
I mean, we're pretty heavy magic users, and I know for a while I've got nothing. Do you have anything that you could learn that we could...
I do now.
Well, if nothing else, I also have the suggestion spell, which we've seen, as long as it works.
I mean, I think we're still putting the cart before the horse. I mean, we won't know what we need to do until we get down there and we know what the situation
Yes,
is.
but we can
Right.
prepare beforehand.
Sure.
So,
I have that spell that might be able to remove the thing. I have a few spells that can help us determine whether or not he's being truthful. And if nothing else works and he is under some influence, we can take him to a healer.
how much would Selena know about wizards?
Roll Arcana.
Do I know of anything else that might be able to fix this?
In what field? Roll Medicine.
10.
Wizards cast
I meant
spells.
magic-wise.
Arcana.
Yeah, so...
You, this time.
Okay, as a player, I can tell you what I'm trying to get to.
I know exactly what you're trying to get to.
Oh, and you're ignoring me. Got it.
22.
Fine.
22. Sounds more like greater restoration territory.
Yeah.
So-
She is closer.
No. There's a third level spell that you can
Yeah,
do to
lesser
get...
restoration.
Remove
Remove
curse.
curse.
Remove curse.
That's a
it.
wizard spell.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Sorry.
So this is definitely
The one
greater
that's
restoration
negative.
territory. If it is indefinite or permanent condition, we're talking greater restoration.
And
Remove curse would
wouldn't
work if it was a curse. So remove curse might be in play. You're not
'Cause
too sure of the
remove
map.
curse gets rid of like Gaius's and stuff, right?
I think I'm not sure, but you're not sure either. But
Yeah, I know. I'm asking as a player.
yeah,
Sorry.
the safest bet is greater restoration.
Got it.
So I convey that information. That if it turns out to be some sort of curse, maybe a remove curse spell would work. But otherwise, I don't think my magics can deal with a permanent effect from the mines.
Well, if we find a remove curse scroll or something, I'll learn it to have it, but I don't know it currently right now.
Also, I think our best bet is to, once we determine the situation, if he does need to be cured of something, to take him to a healer. That's my best.
Would you like to pin the letter? Pen the letter?
Sure. We're here.
That would be smart.
Should we do that after we...
Just do it now.
Let's have the
Right
the
now?
name.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I remember that he asked about what it means to kill in your letter. I believe he talked about... Did you talk about friendship a little bit in mine?
Yeah, kind of.
I believe that we should make it clear that friends do not
Kill friends of friends.
or force others to kill.
Well, I think first and foremost, I want to thank him for reaching out and say that it's good to hear from him.
We should probably each respond individually too,
Yes.
as to not betray the confidence of his letter to each of
Correct.
us.
I also want to express to him that I've been struggling also with what it is to kill and all of that.
And you'll want to explicitly tell him that it is not the path you wish to take.
Yes. And that I regret the circumstances under which his friend was killed and the fact that his friend was killed. And if I could do things differently, I would.
Those are all great things.
I know that doesn't change what has happened.
Maybe even tell him that.
Right. I also want to say that our travels are taking us in that direction and I wish to.
Maybe elicit a response. Ask him if he wishes you to visit.
Did he actually say to visit him?
I believe he told Justice the location. I'm in Fort Mountain Hall.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Then
ask if he wishes you to visit as
I'll
a
ask.
friend.
Sure, I'll ask where he is,
Alright.
and if he would welcome a visit.
Okay. So, your letter, Gilly, is going to be thank you for writing me. I hope you are well. I also have been thinking about these things, life and death. I'm sorry that how your friend, your spectator, died. I wish things were different, but they're not. And do you want me to visit Fort Mountain Hall?
Yeah. It's going to be a bit more.
A bit more eloquent and delicate, but that's the meat of the letter.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and also get into the
Ready.
like the.
You should probably.
Yeah.
Introspective, philosophical. Okay,
Mhm.
roll persuasion.
You should probably
With
also,
advantage, since Selena helped you craft the letter.
Okay.
maybe also
And
mention.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself when I do it, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe also mention that taking life should not be done lightly, or should not be done.
Yes, all of that stuff. Then that I've been
That's
Since
the
my
path we wish
first-
not to take.
yeah.
Right.
Since my first excursion, which was in those mines,
Right.
I have. I was taken off guard by some
All
things,
right.
and I really wish that
Gonna write some of these down.
stuff had been done differently. And ooh. 27.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Me too. You want me to visit? Alright, and just about your letter, what would you like to really say?
So just so I'm remembering the broad strokes correctly for his letter, he basically originally he wrote me. He expressed confusion why we look the same.
Correct.
And then he went on to talk about. He did say the reason I wrote you is because you showed me kindness. And then he went on to say that we've been killing Warforged or others like me to make him stronger. I'm formidable.
Hmm.
And then he told me I'm in Fort Mountain Hall. Did he say did he invite me to come there, or did he say I'm in Fort Mountain Hall?
Did you? But I think he just told you we're in Fort Mountain Hall. Please respond. I believe.
I
Yeah.
thought of something else. Whenever he's
Okay.
done, I'll let you know.
He also seemed upset that people keep referring to him as a Warforged.
Right.
And curious about how he looks like you, even though he was made so long
That
before
was
you.
good. Yeah.
I would basically reach out. I would tell him first that I'm glad to hear from him. I could tell him that basically I would postulate the reason that he looks like me is because I was likely created using like derivative techniques. So it's possible that he is like I'm some descendant or he's some kind of precursor to me.
Okay.
I would tell him that I find the news that Sevilier has been killing others like me. Vasilier, whatever, they're the same thing.
The shadow self is showing.
The Vasilier is killing others like me. I find it to be very
Disconcerting.
distressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stressing.
And then it's funny, like as the person who's like all about.
Do you want
Warforged
to
things,
say I'm coming to see you in X amount of days, or
I would just say we are traveling to Fort. Thank you for telling me where we are.
we?
I could say I. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm traveling to Fort Mountain Hall in the near future and would like to meet as soon as possible. Would you be amenable to this?
Thank you.
The only other thing I'd like to say is basically, we might only look similar, but people will judge him as they do other Warforged, and like basically, our kind need to stick together, else we'll be preyed upon by the greater forces of this world.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll persuasion, Justice. Is anyone assisting him?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Roll with advantage.
And the
And guidance.
good deal.
Alright, this is important, so I wanted to write this down.
Yep. And so the other, I'll wait till you add.
Yep.
It's a 28.
I need to write that down. I don't know why I closed my notebook. What did you want to add to your letter, Yoli?
I wanted also to say that I've also been learning about the way that this world and specifically this country works, and that while many of the laws are written with good intentions, I'm learning that the laws that govern this nation don't always get carried out and aren't always meant to be in the best interest of everyone, and that I'm looking into ways to help in those areas where I can.
Alrighty.
That kind of a thing.
You took that 27 to heart.
Yep.
Impressive.
Good job. So as you pen your letter with some assistance from Sam, you pen yours, bottle them up, and you stick them in the equivalent of a mailbox to be sent out the next day. Unsure if they will make their journey, unsure what effect that will have. And with that, we're going to go to break.
So before we go to break, we have some really cool
Yeah,
stuff.
show them the dice towers.
And let's pull
Tell
the
them all
chat,
about
too,
it.
if we can.
Yeah. I
There's
will.
nothing going on in chat.
No, it's a quiet night tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Landed, or,
We got one new follower. Thank you, whoever
we got
followed.
2.
Two!
Wow.
It hasn't updated on my side yet.
I got the emails.
I hope.
Oh, cool. Right. I need to do that on my phone.
I touted the email box.
That's awesome.
So, we found old Legos from being kids. And I have more that we're going to make more of these things with. But, I don't have the money to buy a dice box in Dice Tower. So, because Wormwood is gorgeous but expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So, I built my own here. Oh, I'm missing a peg. No. Good trial and error. We have a couple of different versions of it, and we're testing them out to see how we like their. Yeah, they can't. There
Yeah.
you
Are
go.
they up on our socials?
So they are up on all our
Check
socials.
out our socials to see
Yeah.
pictures
Mine is
and
Yeah,
clips
and
of
hold
them
it
in
close to the
action.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
goodness.
can see a little video of like the dice rolling out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's the
If-
delay, so I can't tell
Yeah.
if that worked.
That's
it
okay.
is working. Yeah.
If it would be useful
Oh,
for
yeah.
us to put together a. What are you doing?
Holding it up in
He
front.
held it like really close
He
to the
did.
camera.
That was impressive.
They can go to our socials if they want to see.
Yeah.
it.
They
Yes,
can
they
go to
can.
our socials and then tell us if you would like a how-to video, and I may find time the next couple of weeks to put it together.
I think you
Yeah.
should definitely do
Yeah.
that.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Because there's only one other how-to video on the internet
Yes.
right now, and she's rambling.
Content.
Yeah.
Content.
Do it!
Content.
And then there's someone you can pay to get a design.
Template.
He's asking people for like $12 for this template. And I'm like, but why? It's Legos. So we just created.
Because it's Legos.
So,
Yeah.
if there is anything else you want to know about this dice tower and how it rolls, dice goes in it.
Dice Commander.
And dice goes
Can't explain that.
So, and I just want to remind, we are 34 followers now out of 50. When we reach 50 followers, we are going to become affiliate status on Twitch, and then we'll have a sub button and other stuff. So please follow, tell your friends to follow. We are very, very close to becoming affiliate. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes, okay, everybody?
Yep.
Cool.
See where this leads. Hold on. New setup.
Oh no, no.
Missions.
Techno.
We are back from the break. Alrighty, so they just finished their paying their letters and they are spending a night in O'Shea Manor. What do you all wish to do?
Head back down for myself at least.
I'll go with, I guess, just to see the craziness.
Okay. Sorry, I had to get a little thing on. Alrighty, so you guys are
The assassins.
Yes. God, please stop. I can't.
Alright, because you took so long upstairs, they've been murdered
Oh my
by the
god, we
college.
come down, everyone's dead. It's the shadow hand.
So you arrive back and you go back. You and who's all going to the sitting room?
We're all going.
Okay, you're all going.
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
So you
Hey,
guys
family.
wrestle on down.
A fun way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Stop
laughing
it.
about. And they're sitting there with their really large bowl mugs.
Adorable.
Like
Are they just regular sized mugs? They're just.
they're big mugs for halflings. And they have
Stop it.
there's a float. There are tiny little there's basically like animated candlesticks and things like that are serving you, tiny servants that are serving you animated objects, and they are
Cool at Fantasia.
that's exactly how it is. Beauty and the Beast. And have a seat. We got cookies and we got biscuits and hot cocoa and tea.
We are your guests.
Yes. Be our guests.
Yes.
Yes.
Are
Yes,
there
be our guest.
marshmallows?
Marshmallows, of course, freshly roasted. There's like little turning things that are floating in midair by the roaring fire. Not roaring.
To roast the marshmallows?
Yeah, like they're floating.
It's a blast furnace.
Little magical
Fireball.
floating fires. To
Well, I
do
was just
your...
going to use control flames to roast my own marshmallows, but
No,
there's
a fire.
a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see why you ladies are in the hospitality business. You have it all figured out.
I haven't done this in a while.
Oh.
Are the kids around or is it just the...
It's just the adults.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing? Sorry about that mess at the hall, but we had to do things on a need-to-know basis. Ronan's there too.
Oh,
It's understandable. I hope you two are okay, and that. Well, I hope nothing negative and permanent comes of any of that.
I think it was all necessary. We got lucky that we're busybodies and could find an excuse.
Yeah. Ronan says, yeah, when I came to town, I of course started work in I came here from the capital immediately by way of the teleportation circle, and I started work in the rope, and I knew that they had presented the witness list, and I knew Naz was on there, so I did a little finding a fact, and we worked that out together. Never seen Naz stick her neck out for anyone she doesn't particularly care for others, so you must be quite the charmer. A man after my own breed.
Naz and I share a certain perspective.
Yes, and you got that whole monotone thing going on, too.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
He's learning humor.
Oh.
I think that was a joke.
All the more to the point.
Or maybe it wasn't a joke. Was it a joke? I can't tell sometimes.
Bartle.
Well,
Stare. Don't say a word.
that
Great!
that all checks out, then. But, yeah, this was a bit of egg on a face moment for the mistress of the mist to rout him like that, so he'll be licking his wounds a little bit, but this is a gossip event for a month, and then no one will remember.
Is
Sure
there
was.
anything we can do to smooth things over so that if we come back into town, we're not immediately a target?
Do you want to smooth things over?
From a personal standpoint, the more egg, the better. However, from a political and personal standpoint, as a courtesy to Gilly and her family, that is a different story.
Speaking as the family, I mean, we could of course play the niceties out, but they're not going to get us any real game.
Okay.
Rendell doesn't like us, we don't like him, and that's just the way love goes.
It sure was great
Welcome
to
to
see
politics.
that oh shit moment on his face, though.
I'll be living off of that one for 6 months.
But politics has multiple levels. I mean, I'm terrible with 90% of politics, but I know there's the publicity stunt, there's what happens underneath, and then there's what's truly going on.
Right.
And we got to see all 3 of those levels today, and he was bruised on all 3 of
Yes.
those levels. So even if there was a publicity stunt that would save him face and give the O'Sheas more leverage, that's what I was asking.
We should have a parade for us. It's the Green Dragon corpse through town.
No.
That seems like the opposite of what I'm suggesting.
Yes. I guess. I think along where you're going, are you worried about repercussions, about retaliation?
Yes, to put it more pointedly. Which, are you sure you're not a lawyer? Because that was pretty much a good sum up of all the levels. Yes, no, there's no way of stopping the real repercussions, but we can definitely curry favor with certain allies. People are looking at us and they think we're stronger now. The more cynical members of our little alliance are going to think we've got the mistress of the mist in our pocket. The more intelligent and even more cynical are going to know that something deeper is going on here. But I don't think anyone understands why she did what she did.
So, 2 things. We're absolutely being followed through town, as you heard.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Shades are following us, packs of 6 at a time.
They've got a team on you.
In a city that, as far as I understand, has no college.
No, there's no whisper house allowed in Bridgeton.
Are you positive they're not using one of the houses?
They could be using a front. Could be Atlantic Bastion.
I wanted to warn you. Your property appears safe. I'm sure you're well aware. But yeah, when we're out and about town, they're trailing us, and they're hard to spot.
Yeah, they're shades. The plot thickens.
Could be an unrelated matter as well.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm affiliated with the College of Whispers. They could be observing me for one reason or another.
Correct.
Then why would the Duke know?
Did the Duke know?
Yeah, Duke specifically told us that one of his little birds told him that we came out of the mist, came up the mines, into the Devil Dog.
You're
He
assuming
might
that
have
those
meant Colin Lannick.
Right.
He gave
No?
us every spot we've made.
That's
Colin
true.
didn't follow us out of the mines into the Devil Dog.
Did he?
I mean,
No.
He didn't, right? Yeah. No,
You and
that
He
Motheus.
told
he
us
showed his hand.
He did. He gave us our timeline of those first 48 hours. They couldn't follow us into the lock, the Follow Glen,
Mm-hmm.
but while we were in town, we were followed.
that's,
So they can't prove that we were out with Morgan because they didn't. It doesn't sound like they followed us into Follow Glen Lock. But while we were inside those gates,
that is quite possible.
unless I misread something.
No, that all checks out.
Yeah.
Well then.
So
Although that would speak to a level of premeditation on his part, seeing as we were tailed from the moment that we exited the mines, it appears.
that has a deeper meaning I hadn't thought about yet. But yeah, that means that either he knows he's been following the Son of Storms who derailed our train, or there was some communication between the Lannegs or the Grandling Company and him as we came into and out of the mines.
And I'm sure that our exit from the mine was a spectacle. Probably was not difficult to miss. Maybe it started then.
I'm
It
sure
started after
I'm
our
sure a
first
lot
day.
of this is concern over the fact that I actually witnessed
The slavery?
the slavery and the law being broken.
Whenever a whole lot appeared out of the mines out of nowhere, by the time you took the long trek upwards, every little whisper and bird in this town would have known your arrival.
Right, yeah, it was like a big hoopla. Like, oh, the baron, the heiress of the... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't unknown that we were traveling towards
Right.
the meadows.
It took, you,
Right.
But
it
it
took
does-
you, I think, 2 days to get into the mines.
But it does give a level of it does provide a level of premeditation. However, if we start being tailed immediately.
Well,
So this was his ploy, or this was his play.
it means that he has shades on hire for one reason or another. And either the Grantland Company or the Lanigs are conspirators, or both, all things considered.
We'll just have to keep our eyes out.
These inspectors that will be visiting the mines, how soon would that likely begin?
Oh, very soon. I think we're in the end of the week. First thing on Monday. First thing in the beginning of the next week. There's going to be one from an inspector from the O'Shea's, inspector from the Hog Collars, inspector from the Good Barrels, and an inspector from the Flynn's.
Real quick, the hog collars own the
Their allies?
the devil dog, correct?
The Hog Collars oversee Mothios.
Right. And do they actually own the devil dog?
No. That's the head and the house of the quarter.
Thank you for
The
asking.
Devil Dog is the notable location.
Right. So who's the owner then? Is the devil dog the owner of the devil dog?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
figured.
it's a
Okay,
private
okay.
establishment.
So not actually affiliated with the hog collars.
No, the Hog Collars oversee Mothios. The only notable location, because it's a residential area, is the Devil Dog.
Okay.
So in a few days is basically what they're saying after the week.
Yes, yeah. In a few days.
So to go back to potentially mitigating repercussions. I'm a nobody. He clearly made that very clear. That I'm a nobody. But I've been in O'Shea Manor staying here for the last, 3, 4... Has it been a whole week?
It's been a little while, yeah. I could piece together, yeah. It's been a little while. About 5
For the
days,
last
I
week,
think.
traveling with Gilly, having her back, whatever it looks like to the rest of the world. We could make a ploy that I could request an audience with the Duke and make it look like I'm ploying for power and currying favor. And basically say, I know that looked bad for you. I'm here to be at your service if you need anything, and give us an in if he ever wants in it on you guys.
I think Arundel can read that play, and also there's no avenue for you to request an audience with the Duke. I mean, we could on your behalf, but it would look... There's no engine for you to request an audience with the Duke. You're not a...
I would just, as we had just had legal standings as part of a group, I would take a bet and ask above my station at the police, the guard shack. I don't know what was
The
it.
constable's office.
The guard shack. What kind of operation you think we're running in the Glide?
I mean, you can try through the back door, but Arundel's not stupid. He may have gotten foiled here, but I think he's going to be able to reach it, but you could try.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a possibility if you wanted me to. Otherwise, it's not necessary. I don't need to curry favor with him. I have no...
The way we're going to play this is we're going to use this little particular bargaining chip on the negotiations for the mines and get even more out of this recent dispute. That's how we're going to play this, since that's the pressing issue.
He'll probably
That's
want
good.
to distance himself from us as much as possible, so he might just outright deny an audience.
To you and Gilly, absolutely.
Even to you
that
guys,
makes
'cause
a
you
political
were-
standing.
I doubt that he would give us the time of day.
Yeah.
I believe his pride has been damaged.
All he would have to do is ask around about how I was in the war. That reputation speaks for itself.
I would prefer to be getting on with our other business.
Of course.
Yeah. You got more to do, Julia. You got more business? You're a busy lot. This is all Ronan speaking. Phelim and Fanway seem to just be kind of watching Ronan work.
That little Is he a lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He
I didn't
is-
know
Yes.
I
He
knew
is
he
like-
was, I'm confirming.
He
I
has
just
like
meant-
snakeskin boots. Sorry, I should describe more. Like he has incredibly garish clothes, red velvets, gold, fluffy white collar with which he's now taken off. He has a really nice tight glittering vest. He has snakeskin boots, and yeah.
There's a creature?
And
it.
he has stark white
A
hair
fiend.
that is well coiffed and oiled.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's a lawyer.
Outside of town.
You're leaving us so soon.
In a few days, I think. Right? A few days?
Well, you're
A day or
traveling.
two?
You're all traveling with Morgan, so I suppose you'd have to leave in a few days.
Can I insight
Yeah.
check that he's
You
trying to
go ahead
pry
and roll an
information?
insight check on Ronan.
He's probably gonna make it, but
Well,
not one.
Yeah, you know.
well,
Yeah,
I'm-
no, let's go.
I'm traveling
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Morgan.
Hard to read.
Hard to read.
I
Well oiled.
I just answered that with, well, I'm traveling with Morgan. Or
Yes.
with is a word.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Tis what it is, isn't it?
Well,
I think if I need to know anything more, now's the time to tell me.
as far as I know it, you know everything there is to know.
Okay.
Deal's made. She is who she is. You want to keep traveling with her? That's your business. You're an adult.
Want's a strong word. I don't have much of an option. I don't think, unless you're seeing something that I don't.
What do you mean you don't have much of an option?
It's about to become an awkward
Don't
family
think-
conversation.
Yep.
Stealth check. Misty.
22.
The details in which Trilly became safe again
Yeah.
were never discussed here yet. But suffice it to say, we didn't do it completely alone.
Baleen and the Fenway are now sitting up and they've set down their mugs.
I'm hiding behind one. I'm inspecting Marshmallow.
I rolled a 22 on my stealth check.
Good kind of ghost.
Just sliding under
Oh.
the jeep.
Who helped you?
Who do you think?
Why don't you just tell me plain?
Morgan.
Do
Well,
things start-
Major.
No, this is all Ronan. You can see
Yeah.
Fanny and the Fenway. And what did she ask for this particular little bit of help? Was it free?
Nothing's free.
No, nothing's free. I taught you that much.
Well, what were the exact terms? She said
You could
to,
probably
to
just-
begin on a journey.
Journey, Night of Winter.
Right, night of winter,
You
that
could
whole bit.
probably just sit the rod on the table.
That's right. I did I get the rod back?
Yeah, you guys have everything back. They're not trying to be a dick move.
Lord. You're not going to be happy about it, and I don't really feel great about it either, but this is what it is. Oh no, here it comes. So the more information I have, the better.
Are you out of your potato picking mind?
I didn't say I was fond of how it happened, but it didn't have a whole lot of options.
Oh, the Irish.
Thank you. I'm in a scene, damn it.
Sorry.
Jameson drinking?
Yeah. Have you been at the gym too long? Are you?
Have all of you lot lost what had actually been going on and the dire straits that everyone was in?
out of the frying pan into the fire? You.
I agree, but I didn't see any other way. And it's not like I was given much help or guidance because you couldn't.
So you're what? A knight? A squire? What else
Guess
they call
so.
those things? Yeah. Well, good luck in your new career.
Enforcer.
The level of parental disappointment.
How?
It's like being at home.
I know. Actually, for me, it kind of is.
For my own edification, for the future, should I need it, how would you have gone about things instead? Mom? Ma? Uncle?
50 years worth of experience, you can answer that question.
I don't know because I unfortunately couldn't be there. But I don't know if I would have gotten out of a deal by making another deal with the person who orchestrated the whole thing in the first place. If you really think she had no hand in this whole thing in the beginning, I mean, she's an archfey. Of course she had a hand.
I'm not saying she didn't.
Well, listen, you're an adult, you made your choices, you're gonna live with them, but...
I made a decision that seemed better than having truly become a hag.
Yes.
In a situation where I didn't feel like I had better options.
Well, that's your bed, and you're just gonna have to live in it for the next...
Which is why I'm saying if there's anything else that y'all can tell me about the situation and everything, now's the time for me to know it.
That's all there is, Gilly.
Okay.
We made that was our piece in the pie. We don't know anything else. We know that she's connected to JJ. JJ was the lawyer they used. At the time, he was kind of a younger upstart. This was 20 years ago. It was just a little bit before the war. 24 years ago. Just before the war, and he was a young upstart. Well, not young, but he was an upstart, and we made the deal. We negotiated the terms. And then, people started dying. That's all there is. We didn't know who he was at the time or if he was that person that he was, but yeah.
Well, at least for now, I think we'll be traveling with her.
Well,
So
I hear
has
she...
our resources.
Great to hear. Just what the Archfey needed. The long lost prince of the Aramir, two incredibly formidable assassins, and an O'Shea as the Knight of Winter. I'm sure she was really lacking for power, so I'm glad she has more in her corner.
Morgan doesn't have that. Gilly does.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. No. Traveling
misunderstand.
with Gilly.
No.
You misunderstand.
Sorry, we were all talking about Morgan. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
you're rooting for Morgan. I'm like, God, a little
No.
bit rude, but okay.
No.
A little fun.
So,
No.
do you care to
Let's
be...
pick on that for a second.
Do you care to be a bit more plain about why you have such strong negative feelings about her?
She's the Baron LaFay. She's an archfey. You can't trust him.
Matt, just remind me, is there anything that I have learned about the Baron LaFay that would
So
Should I be
explain
panicking
why?
right now?
Yeah, should I be panicking?
So the whole
But that would
idea is that
explain why
she's the
they're so-
archfey of the Land of the Cold Ending, which serves Queen Mab, and the Land of the Cold Ending is so she is the archfey if they had domains of vengeance, ice, cold, bitterness.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's Queen Mab and her who you invoke when you want to kill people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a different side of this coin. She at least has said, and as far as I can tell, which I might not be able to read her, obviously, for obvious reasons. I might not have read her correctly. But she seems genuine when she says that she feels connected to me in a way that she has not felt connected to anyone in a very long time. And as such, maybe there's maybe there's a way that there might be a chance of a counter influence of sorts.
Gilly.
It's not I'm not going to sit here and say that I think I can change or anything like that, but as far as I understand it, my actions are still mostly my own. I'm not going to be put in a position to do things that I'm not comfortable with.
Gilly, you want to see the good in people even when they're not people, and I admire that about you, but as a lawyer who spends a lot more time with just as good of deal makers as Morgan, she's not to be reformed. She's not anything like that. But hey, if you want to believe in that, then you should act accordingly and prove us all wrong. You've got a couple months with her, I'm sure, because that's how long her tour lasts. By the end of it, you can bring her back here and we'll all have tea.
Well,
Tea.
sorry, what do you mean by people who aren't people?
She's not a person. She's an archfey. They're not people.
I'm not sure I take your meaning.
What do you mean? They're not people. They're archfays. They have a different. Did you forget about your magic school and?
Sorry, Matt, you just mean like they're of a power greater than
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
okay.
they
I'm
follow
just like,
different metaphysical rules.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
like what the hell?
Never mind. We
Not
were
like-
just having a conversation
Yeah.
about Warforged not being people to certain.
Right. Yeah.
Right,
no, not
right. So I'm just
subhuman.
like, what do you mean?
Ascended.
Ascended,
Yeah.
beyond human. Gotcha.
Like
Beyond
Warforged.
people.
Full circle.
Stop it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha.
We're better.
Sure.
Or something.
Yes, I understand. Well,
Well, it's
Bedtime?
Yep.
I don't
gotta
know
wander
about you
upstairs.
lot, but I gotta sleep for 8 hours. This seems like the safest place to do it.
I have steps.
I set all the snares when I get back to the room.
When I follow Selena up, once we're upstairs, I let you know that it may not be. We may want to be careful about how we operate with the Devil Dog, especially if we're being watched.
Oh, of course.
Especially if they even saw us go into the tavern and know that it's connected somehow. So, I'm not sure how we're going to pull off your favor to them.
Justice will take you and sneak you to the edges of the mines.
But I mean, us even like taking that risk to do that. There might be another favor or something else we could do outside of the city. We don't want to get Gilly's family into more trouble than they, or into a worse position if we get caught.
I'm not here for this conversation, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think this is a non-negotiable.
Alright.
I think between Justice and I, we can get us away from the shades momentarily. All 4 of us. Coming back into town probably won't be that big of a deal. But, I mean, I'm a seedy character. I can go to the Devil Dog however I want. It's just you and Gilly that make a spectacle.
Correct. But
You're...
might be something to think about.
I absolutely understand your concern. I appreciate it.
I can go off to bed. Or all to study, I guess, or meditate.
Okay. So is there anything anyone wish to do during the night?
I've been up for like 36 hours, guys. Can I take? Okay.
I'm gonna annoy people with my veal. Let's say.
I guess I'll stay and talk to my family a bit if
Okay.
they're staying up.
Just a background combo, not actually talk to him.
Hmm?
Do you actually want to talk to him, or just you're saying
A
that?
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know that things aren't great, considering the circumstances of as out of the frying pan into the fire, as you so eloquently put it. And I don't disagree with that sentiment. Like I said, I'm not exactly thrilled about the situation that I'm in. But here we are. To do you know of anyone or oh gosh, I'm thinking of 2 different things in my head right now, sorry. You really don't have any insights or advice or anything? How to make sure that I'm being as careful as I can with her?
The deal's been made. You made your conditions and terms. You're a Knight of Winter. So, no.
So I'll relay the wording, because Alexis is infallible. She can't remember exactly the wording right now. But I'll relay the wording of the deal, and then what can you make of it?
It's a looser contract than perhaps. So the thing about Fey contracts is they can be treacherous. They're not as bad as Infernal contracts. Infernal contracts possess no fiduciary responsibility.
Okay.
Basically an agreement is awfully one-sided from perhaps a fiendish contract.
Sure.
So you would say something like, I wish to, I don't know, you would say, you would make a deal with the devil and say something like, I wish to X, Y, and Z, but they would twist your wording, or they would not give you the full terms and arrangements of the deal.
Sure.
Fey contracts are a bit more honest, so it looks like you are, how can I say this? You are definitely an employee, but perhaps closer to a temporary contractor. You might have some wiggle room.
Okay.
I don't think you'd die if you walked away, let me put it that way.
I was told I'd be able to have, quote-unquote, reading materials. Matt, that was a written version of the contract, right?
No, it was like training manuals.
Okay.
How to be a knight.
So,
Step 1.
should I ask for some sort of written version of the contract, or is it better to not have that?
No, you can ask for a written version of the contract, but
Okay.
I mean...
And, would you be willing to offer maybe a friends and family sort of discount, or just a slight consultation with any of my compatriots?
Oh, your companion?
Should they ask of it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I have a feeling that at least someone might need a bit of that.
All right.
I don't want to speak out of turn.
All right. I mean,
I just wanted to make sure before I offered it.
I am your family's lawyer. You can appeal to my services. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Also, you and maybe Ma, Selena told me recently that she had a friend, a compatriot, that she lost touch with in the war.
All right.
And I think, and I don't want to speak too much out of turn, what would Selena have? Did she say
if
that?
You felt the need to tell your parents you could, but
How much about the Moira thing did you not want me to say?
because you expressed issue with Moira too, I didn't say anything about Moira. It was more about asking for help than anything else, because that's an nobility.
Right.
Nobility.
Gotcha. It seems that the two of them went against House Moira's interests in terms of payment for healing services.
During the war.
What they felt was right instead of what they were told was right. Which, and her compatriot is missing. It doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility that House Moira had something to do with it, and I didn't know if you could do any looking around, or if there were any legal means to figure anything out for her.
Do you have a name?
Did I have a name? Did you have a picture?
I said I could provide one.
I think she can provide some details in the morning.
This was during the war?
Yes.
Okay. House Moira during the war. Her name's Selena. Okay. You'll give me some more information on the missing person and I can do some digging, yeah.
Okay. I'd appreciate it. And Also, our friend Dryden, his father. Do you know anything about him? Like anything about that? Hey! I made promises to certain people here. I wrote them down, and I'm keeping them.
Getting anywhere near that mess with Dryden's father.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What, might I ask, do you know about Duplacroix, that woman who was here before?
Straight Faye, Bailey, what is that woman? What was that all about? Bailey pipes up, oh, well, that was more of a trade negotiation around the whole. We're expanding into international waters, as it were. We're trying to collate and solidify kind of a branch of O'Shea taverns in Solitude, and that was about opening that market up in exchange for some other things. So yeah, that's what that was about. She's wonderful. We've known her for some time.
Is that so?
Yeah, she's a known quantity. She was here 3 or 4 years ago with the Grandling business, and yeah, she's been all around. She's a busybody.
You don't have any suspicions around her or anything?
No, she's always been on the up and up with us.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not Gilly would check to see, think that she might be lying, but never mind.
Do we know, there's
Yeah,
any issue
why was
with her?
Billy suspicious?
I don't think we have any reason to doubt her. As
Morgan
characters.
talked to me about Dupla.
Yeah, Morgan
Okay.
spilled the beans. Yeah,
So at this point,
Oh, okay, I don't know that. Yeah.
I guess I had forgotten that. I wasn't
That's
there.
alright. It was at the club, yeah.
trust my parents over trusting Morgan at this point, right? So
It's hard.
does she seem like she's telling me everything?
Do you want to roll an insight check?
Yeah, I don't think she's lying to me, but I think
Roll an
maybe.
insight.
Okay. Not good. 14.
Aileen O'Shea, the Baroness of the Meadows, is telling you the whole bit of it.
Yeah.
Hard to read.
Stop it. Okay. It's just that
Excuse me, yeah.
I've heard that she was seen meeting with Dryden's father before this whole business with the airship.
Wow. Well, I mean, she's a trade representative of one of the largest financial consortiums in the world, so.
So it could be a coincidence, but
Yeah.
she also didn't she negotiate things with the Grandling Company for the Lennox?
Yeah, she's like an affiliate. She's an international trade representative of some formal powers in Solitude in Domaria, in the kingdom, the Republic of Domaria.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
curious if you had any suspicions around her or how well you knew her,
No.
that sort of thing.
She runs everything out of Croy Financial up there, and she's always been on the up. I mean, he was an engineer. It could have been about any number of things.
Oh, sure.
But yeah. How'd you come by that information?
How do you think?
All right.
Which is why I just wanted to see what y'all thought of her.
She's always. Oh, this is Faylene. She's always been on the up and up. So, yeah. We consider her a friend.
Okay. Well, if there's, I told Dryden that I would talk to you, Uncle Ronan, about Dryden, at least see if there was anything that you felt willing to do.
Yeah, I know. Not getting anywhere in that nest of vipers. I'm pretty sure he's guilty. I've been talking to people at the Presidium about because I've been
Really?
helming these. Yeah.
Okay.
He's almost certainly guilty. There's money going into his coffers that shouldn't be there. He's richer than he's ever been. He's almost certainly guilty. But Dupla's name has not come up, so that actually might be worth investigating.
That's interesting. The confessors, the confessory kind of put Dryden and us in a bit of a spot. And it was indicated to us that they weren't going to give any sort of a proper trial or anything to Dryden's father and just kind of pin the tail on the donkey, as it were.
So this is Ronan. Yeah, well, the Presidium, is trying to shoehorn the whole thing, but there was the confessor heading that case, Grantham. He's actually turned the nose on that. It's going to be a fair trial.
Then he's keeping his end of the deal, at least.
What deal?
Like I said, we were sort of backed into a corner.
Okay.
Don't want to talk about the details, but
Ronan.
at least he's getting a fair trial.
Jesus.
But you really think that he's guilty?
Yes, I do.
That's too bad.
I've seen the notes from the inquiries, the findings, the interrogation conducted on Dryden Dickers. Yeah.
Is there any indication that... Wait, on Dryden Dickers?
Yes, he was interrogated.
Wait. Is there any indication that Dryden is also guilty? I mean...
No, his inquiry cleared him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, because he's, had traveled with us and such. And if we wanted to keep in touch with him, I just want to make sure that he's on the up and up, too.
All right.
Okay. Well, how have you been outside of all this
Okay.
nonsense?
We'll close that scene.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
Ronan, can we take Dryden Dickers? Can we trust him?
The only thing that I would do otherwise is
Just
I
start
would
up a conversation with Ronan.
Yeah, I want to talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down to talk to her.
We
This
should
world.
one at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
one at a
does.
time.
We'll all have a
I have a list of
conversation
45
with it.
things.
I can't help it that this is the first time I gotten a chance to talk
It's
to him.
you were
and
honestly
I had made
fine.
promises to
We're just
people.
giving you shit.
The only thing I would do at all is I want to gussy up the mask. I'm not actually trying to get anything functionally out of it. It's just.
Oh yeah, we
it's
haven't
like,
talked about loot.
it's
No,
just
we
like
haven't.
The white
Yeah,
thing.
this is definitely like a downtime episode.
Yeah, it is.
We should
Do
be
it.
careful with the mask and not wear it around.
Oh, you
You're
think?
not there.
Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't determined that I can have it yet, so I won't do anything to the
You
mask.
guys,
And also, it looks like a hag, so maybe,
We haven't talked about it yet, so we'll talk about it. Okay. So no, I won't do anything to it.
all right. The night. I mean, you can polish it up. You can clean it up. It's pretty clean though. The night passes. You guys have breakfast. What would you wish to do?
I would have said at some point over the night, if you want to show that bit of reading material that you've recently acquired to my uncle, to make sure everything is okay and that you have your bases covered. I didn't mention you by name or any of the specifics, but he's willing to give you counsel if you need it.
I do not know what you were referring to.
Your contract with that devil.
It was a verbal contract.
Yes, she also gave you a written because I asked for it.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
if you would like, he can look over that for you.
I'll take that under advisement. Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. There you go. If you want to make sure your bases are covered, considering how badly my family's been burned by contracts, you might want to have it looked at. But that's your decision to make. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that was there for you if you'd like.
Thank you, Selena. I mean, Gilly. Thank you, Gilly.
I know that all half
I did
sure
not
people
say
look the
that.
same, but she's taller than me.
I obviously
Fair
didn't say that.
bit.
That was Chase, not justice.
Yeah. I'm giving you a
You
shot.
guys are gathered around for breakfast
Yeah.
inside.
Has her family joined us yet?
They're coming and going. It's still, they're coming and going.
So we've got stuff to do.
Yeah, we do.
As always.
Mm-hmm.
Which we should probably take care of.
Before the inspectors show up. Yeah.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm. Good job on that question, by the way.
Thank you. It seemed like the prudent thing to ask.
Minus the money from the dragon and your family, what other resources do we have at the moment?
Well, we should talk about the things that we've gathered up from our little expedition. We haven't really discussed that. We haven't really had time to do that.
We may want to wait until we leave the city.
To discuss what we're going to do with all those things?
Not necessarily to discuss, but if we decide to sell certain things, we should wait to leave the city
I
to sell them.
completely
For selling
agree.
or using?
For selling. And for using, we should be careful as well.
I completely agree.
Oh, please, I'm pulling it out.
I have particular interest in the mask. I think it could help me in my endeavors.
Do we want to treat it like the helm that
Sure.
I'm carrying?
I do not care.
Sure.
That being said, I might make certain modifications to it.
If you can make it less recognizable of what it is, then
Of
that would
course.
probably
That's
be
my primary
ideal.
concern.
That was my intention.
If that's the case, then use it as much as you'd like.
What does that do again?
That's it.
Add your proficiency bonus to intimidate checks when it's visible.
Oh, that could be useful in your line of work.
It could.
Could be useful in my line of work. Very good.
It's also ripe for enchantment. It's an item that's made to be improved upon.
You should go on an adventure with me later. There's a couple of shops that I'll be looking for. I was gonna ask your family about them.
Is that here?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do anything with it here.
There we go.
Sibelius is
Yep.
right.
Right.
But if I don't find what I need here, I'll be looking for those shops elsewhere. You're
Okay.
welcome to join me in that.
And if we are heading to Fort Mountain Hall, they are known for their crafting.
Oh, hey, look at that.
That's true.
Seems like an excellent
Okay.
step.
So we have cooking spices. Selling those.
I could
the
probably
minutia.
sell them to the family.
I will keep 1 pound of cooking spices so when we're traveling we don't have shitty food.
1 pound of cooking spices, got it.
So
Subtract
I'll
it.
keep one of those. Well, maybe not a whole pound. Jesus, that's a lot of spices.
Sack.
Like a small vial.
Whatever is the easiest to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. If you just want to take like a pin, like a little vial, yeah, that's fine. Off the
Yeah.
top. Sure.
Small vial, Selena.
Do you think?
We've
Can
got 2 things of holy water.
Can Chase ask, do we really actually need to do this level of record keeping in the game, or can we just offline this? I'm
I mean,
sorry.
there's just a couple of pieces in here that we.
Like, what are the big
There's
ones?
like
Like the
15
maps?
So the jet
You need to
statue-
decide what you're taking out of the
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, well,
we
the
need to
things that we
decide-
need to keep. So holy water,
Right.
potion of poison, healing, perfume of bewitching. If you actually want me to send that cauldron back to the other side of the world, because I can.
we should.
Yeah, we should.
And the amulet and the filter.
Of love. Yep. I would say anything that like is special like that. The things that are just
This
like
is-
monetary, yeah.
So subtract 750 from the 4,774 gold. So let's just call it, for simplicity, an even 4,000 off the hoard total. Okay, that's where you are now.
So I was just gonna write. I was just claiming or not claiming on anything
Yeah.
that we wanted, and then you can go back and do math.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just trying to make this.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So your the hoard total on gold value, stated gold values, is now 4,000 even for simplicity. Okay.
Right. However, I didn't put all of those things in the gold value in the tracker.
I'm not sure what you mean.
In the tracker, only the gold is listed as gold.
And then the value of those other items. So anything with
It's
the value
listed how
listed.
much is there, but I listed it out separately in case we wanted to keep any
That's
of
fine.
it.
So is there anything with the value listed? Don't worry about anything that doesn't have a value listed. Anything from the Ironwood Birdcage and up that you would like to keep.
The holy water,
Okay?
Yeah.
which is what I was asking about.
All
Yeah.
right. So both vials of holy water, so that's another 100. So you're at 3,900 gold value. Anything else?
Who wants to hold the holy water?
I'll take a vial.
Because you do. Who are? Because we already have
Already
a
have
couple of
one.
values, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Dryden had a few, I think.
So. So Valius,
I'll
and
ta-
I can throw things, or can you throw things?
I mean, I'll take one. They could be useful in magics
Perfect.
also. So,
And then, do we need a jet statuette of Mother Night?
do I need a jet statue out of Mother Night?
It's a nice statuette.
I don't think it had any magical properties. Other than that, everything else we can hawk, minus the potions. Sound good?
Yes, that's
Yes.
fine. I have
Okay.
no need for trinkets.
Yeah,
Very
the perfume and the filter you're considering the potions too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
So-
keep all that stuff.
So you're hawking the Dark Shard amulet and the. Do you want to
No,
hawk?
so all the
No.
things that have prices next to them. Remember, you gave us everything with
The only
prices
Yes,
next
but
to
now
it.
you
Yeah.
guys are talking about everything but the X, and I'm asking.
I thought we were gonna do that.
No, I was just
Okay.
making sure that those things were not in the list.
So
of things
gold
we're-
value total, which you can hand wave anything you're selling that has a value listed to it. So
Okay.
my understanding. So if you're keeping the holy water,
If we
keeping
just
the
roll
bone hag
this,
mask,
we can
Mhm.
3,900 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll
You also
mark
take like half an hour.
out of.
No, it would have been 10 minutes.
It's not taking that long. This is not a big deal.
Yeah.
It needs to be done in game because you guys need to have a conversation about how you're
Exactly.
dividing resources. It's fine.
And so
It's
So-
loot.
I'm just asking, like, are we trying to figure out who carries what now? Like for each item? Is that what we're trying
How
to do?
are we splitting this up?
Exactly.
That's
So-
what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I.
Who's getting
Yes.
what and how much of what are we doing an even split here?
For
Alright.
money, I feel
Gold
like
wise,
that's what
yes.
we've been doing so far.
Yes.
An even split, I believe, would be fair.
It would be.
I already have some potions of poison. There's 3 of them. You are fine to take them. Being weird.
I don't have any interest in
No, it's just slow
poisoning
because I have
things.
too many things running on this computer.
Okay.
What was that, Gilly?
I don't have any interest in poisons.
If you do not need it, I will take the additional.
I think you'll put it to the most use, or Selena. I won't.
So anything you're given, write it down.
There's 3 potions of healing. I don't mind going without in this case, so 1 for everyone but me. Yes?
Okay.
Sure.
That works. They're regular.
Regular old everyday potions of healing.
Mm-hmm.
You already gave your mother the transmuter stone, perfume
Right.
of bewitching. I'm not.
That sounds intriguing.
It's a common level item. It fools creatures of like CR 1 or 2. Like under a limited amount of time, it charms them.
I have 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can charm things, so I don't need it.
I'll take it.
You'll take it?
Did you, either from here or the next town, did you want me to send the Iron Cauldron back to the tower?
Believe.
Well, do we know what's happening with the tower so far? Have we heard any word about
We've
that?
not asked, and we're surrounded by mist, which unfortunately keeps us from getting anything from but practical mail.
Well,
we
I
didn't
mean,
ask for
but-
updates either.
We can though. I mean, we have people who might have information
How heavy is
about
it?
that.
It's a proper large cauldron. It's heavy.
Perhaps we could send it with Mr. Bones at some point or something.
Can
or
we
other.
store it with Mr. Bones?
Or we just take
Good
it with
Lord.
us. Oh, yeah, how are we going to haul
Chucking,
it?
yeah, hauling it around is indelicate. Like in the short term, sure, fine. Hauling it around is indelicate.
Oh, yeah, so for the short term, Mr. Bones. And then,
Okay.
But before we actually send it to the tower, I think that we should find out what's actually happening with it.
And what it does.
Mm.
So, a dark shard amulet. Did we, Sirvelius, remind me if you identified that and told us what it did?
If I haven't, I can. I don't
You
remember.
did
if I
identify it. It's a
think
common item that allows when you make a DC 10 Arcana intelligence check as a warlock, you can cast a warlock cantrip.
Oh,
It's
so
a common magic item.
Warlock must have it.
And it counts as an arcane focus.
Oh, 2 for 1.
Something like that.
I don't have the bandwidth to attune to it.
Does
So
it require attunement?
It
does.
does.
It's a common
Oh.
item.
Alrighty.
So at this
As none
point,
of the rest of us are warlocks.
I could hang on to it for now. I don't know if I'm going. We might try to. I might try to sell it later.
And the filter of love.
I'll take that.
Can you use it on glitch?
No, not necessarily, but it might prove useful as some sort of a get out of something or other, or a distraction. You know, who knows?
Okay.
Got it.
if you ever find that you don't need it,
Mm-hmm.
I could also put it to use.
Remind me what it does?
It makes someone fall in love with you and be charmed by you for about an hour if they imbibe it. But they have to be have the potential of being attracted to you.
Right.
It's a pretty potent item.
There was nothing for Selena in here.
Selena could. Do you believe in life after love?
Oh, I didn't even get holy water. No, I got cooking spices. Yep.
Yeah.
And you did, out of the dragon thing, just get an awakened cloak, so.
True. It's different. That wasn't from this.
That's true.
You can take a. I mean, the
but, like-
potions of potion of poison. I thought you took one of them. There's 3. I don't need that many. Take one.
I'll take one.
Or 2. Take 2. I got a couple already. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
So, and then as we continue moving along and doing adventuring, I know anyone who can, prepare spells, make sure we have what we need. Think about that.
Well, we're fresh out of diamonds, so no one better be dying anytime soon.
I plan on taking care of that today if I can.
Okay.
I have a couple of stops that I want to make. Sevelius, would you like to go with me? There's
Sure.
some shopping. Could be fun.
Sure.
Other than that, do we need to do anything else?
I believe that we have a certain matter to attend to. Besides that, I have nothing.
We do need to spend a little bit of time tonight, tomorrow morning, figuring out how we're going to avoid the shades on our next expedition.
I can assist with that.
That's what I was thinking. Not to be indelicate, but you guys aren't particularly sneaky, so one of us takes one and the other one takes the other, and we go different directions. Maybe they can't follow us.
However, I don't have a spell I thought I had. Never mind, I
All right.
guess. Never mind.
Okay. So yeah, just we'll wanna, if you have any bright ideas on how to disguise yourselves, especially you two, that'd be great. Anything that's basic illusion, they can probably see through. So the more corporeal, the better.
I can physically disguise whomever needs help with it.
Okay.
Let them watch.
Yeah.
Although
Going around town.
I'm assuming that we're doing that when we're going to go do what we need to do.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying we do this right now. This is just things we need to
Okay.
discuss for later, because we
Okay.
can't. We need to spend 10 minutes planning. That's all it is. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's fetch and retrieve.
Okay.
We're gonna be golden retrievers, labradoodles, whatever fits your fancy. You can have all the puffballs you want to be.
Okay. Well, I do have some gold burning a hole in my coin purse, so if you guys are going to go into any like magical item shops, I would go along with just to see what there is.
What's
I don't
the
want to make a big thing out of it. It's just
There are no magic item shops. There are shops that have maybe a few minor magical items.
then no worries. I don't need to shop.
No, close that. Don't. What's the party split? Did you?
I didn't do anything with that. It was just items.
It's gonna be
I'll look at it.
substantial. You take 10,000.
What was the
off
gold
almost.
left?
3,900.
3,900.
Yeah, almost 10,000
Yeah, I
from the
forgot
dragon and
6
that
for the
divided by
dragon.
4.
It's a good chunk of change for us.
I'm pulling up the calculator.
So today we kind of do our own thing, and then we come back tonight, do what we
We get
discuss
2,475
Sounds
each.
good.
2,475 gold each.
I'm sorry. How?
We had 6,000 from the dragon, 3,900
You're including
from...
the 6,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get 2,475 each.
Okay.
So who is heading where?
2,000.
475.
I would like to find a jeweler in town.
Okay. You can go to Woven Wares for that.
Woven wares.
Yeah, it's a tailor, but she doubles as a jeweler.
And then same thing, yeah. So woven wares. Got it. You could potentially get some new clothes. Your favorite thing?
Actually, well, like a jeweler is in like making the settings, right?
Potentially.
So settings for like silver scrapes would work too, or woven wares. They both do jewelry.
So I'll need both items. So
Right.
I'll need jewels as well
Okay.
as settings. So if she can't do what I want her to do, then she can send me to Silver Scrapes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Probably just silver scrapes then, actually, just go, yeah. Because he'll just get it from 10 Woven Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you're going to silver scrapes?
I've
You're
nothing
heading
I
out
need to do.
shopping?
Selena,
Hmm.
whenever you get a moment, if you want to just pass whatever information that you have on that thing we talked about before to me, Ma, and to my uncle. They're willing to at least do a little digging.
You ended up talking to him?
I did.
Okay. I'll pull a picture out of my pocket with his name, age, birth date, etc. on the back
Alright.
and pass it over.
What was the name we settled on? It was with an A.
Alaric?
Yeah.
Is it Alaric?
Alright. Very attractive elven man. Not middle-aged, below middle-aged. Named Alaric.
Okay. I'll pass it on.
Thank you.
Sure.
I actually do have one thing I want to do while they're out
Okay.
shopping.
I hope something comes of it.
So, Civilius, what are you doing?
I'll probably be going to Selena.
Okay. Silver scrapes. Gilly, where are you going to head today? You're going to do that? We'll just say you drop that off?
Hand wave that.
Yeah.
And, what do you have on your docket today?
A little bit of reconnaissance.
For what?
Personal project.
Okay.
Shit.
Well, do you think I could, do you think we could have a chat at some point today?
Now would be an opportune time.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Well, before I wanted to say before I do this, I want to enhance ability wisdom on myself.
Okay. Where are you having this conversation?
Hold on 1 second. I forgot to hit that we did it long rest.
Maybe up in the room. Shit.
You guys are fine.
Great. So she did this before she approached me?
Yeah.
So I'm not watching her.
Yep. So let me just hit cast.
And then, of course, we're going to scout for shades as we go
Yeah, of
towards the...
course. Roll in perception on the way there. So as the two of you part, you two will have a
Separate
conversation.
checks or assisted?
You can assist her if you want.
Sure.
Nine, I don't see anything.
I could roll that once.
So,
Nat 1 and Nat 3.
Wow.
Yeah. I think those dice are in jail with the other one.
so question for the DM when you get a chance.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
So where in my household would be a secure place for us to have a private conversation, but where there are still significant protections?
The study.
There's still significant like armors and
Yep.
all that. Okay,
Yeah, this house is littered with them, but yeah.
I'll make sure the study is not occupied, and I'll
It is
ask
not.
permission for it if I need to or whatever. But
All right.
so,
Study. Do you leave the door open or closed?
This is going to be an oh shit moment.
I think so. I think it might be. There's
If you
potential for it to be an oh shit moment. Should
Just
I
as
leave
good
it
as
open
we
or
do.
closed?
You don't know the information you don't know. You know the information
Correct.
you know. Act on it.
Correct. Okay. I'll close it, I guess.
I note this.
Okay.
Seems to be acting with caution.
You're standing in the study.
Towering over you.
Hi. You wanna have a seat? We can sit down. We can be more comfortable.
I'll stand.
Okay. Well, have you, that woman that we saw before when we first came to my parents' house, when we first came here, that woman, had you ever seen her before?
You'll have to be more specific.
The
I
one-
know exactly who you're talking about. He's He's saying you'll have to be more specific.
When we first got to my parents' house, there was a woman who was leaving that we were introduced to.
Oh, yes, her.
Had you ever met her
Croy.
before?
Not from my knowledge. Wait, I'll stop and pause and I'll think. Have I ever met her before?
No.
She's dark-haired, right?
Yeah.
Dark-haired woman?
Mm-hmm.
No, I do not believe I have.
And is he telling the truth?
Roll
That's what
insight.
I'm about to see. But I have.
And then.
Yep.
Am I rolling?
No, you're telling the truth.
So 17.
Okay. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Okay. Well,
Eerily still. Never.
I have reason to believe that you have.
Elaborate.
Morgan has had Dupla come up on her radar. She said that she's been involved in a few different things that makes her seem suspicious to her. And so she's had Dupla followed a bit. And one of her did she call them spies?
Yeah. There's basically spies.
One of her cohorts of sorts was killed while following her. And another has seen you meet with her. And I'm curious if you did in fact meet with her or if you had any insights on any of that. I'm concerned if this woman is suspicious of nature because she's been meeting with my family, and I want to know where I need to be concerned.
The agent must be mistaken. I believe I would remember meeting with someone like that. Perhaps they mistook me for another Warforged.
It was in Crackmandu.
We were together nearly the whole time we were in Cragmandu.
Were there any moments where you dipped off? Did I know that you dipped off?
Yeah, because you guys were waiting in the Purple-Eyed Pixie
That's
parlor,
right.
and it's like, where's Joseph's?
There was that day where you took off and you were gone from us for quite a while, and it could have been then.
Yes, I believed I spotted somebody that I knew, but the trail went cold.
Are you sure?
So one second.
Okay.
Oh no.
Whispers, whisper, whispers.
Yay.
Lego towers and D&D Beyond.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey.
Oh man.
There's
Secret
sounds
secrets.
that are going
So
on
nervous
now.
right now.
Secrets, yeah, and we've like skipped town.
I'm
So.
really hoping
Yeah.
that I don't get murdered right now.
You'll be fine. It'll only be around and then you'll be down.
Rod of the Pack Keeper, you'll be fine.
Oh.
Beat him. He's squishy.
Okay.
It's up to you how to do it.
Oh no.
However you think justice would try.
Oh no.
Can I ask you something?
Oh no.
Alright,
think I
here we
triggered
go
a
with
gaze.
more.
Oh no.
Yep. You're gonna die.
And
You're
she's,
gonna get stabbed right in the
she's
heart.
whispers about as well as, you
And
know.
get
And I
murdered
closed
to
the
death.
door too.
You
and
did, so nobody can save you.
Yeah. That's
And
it.
it'll override the magic.
We're never gonna see Gilly. You and
Because-
I are gonna come back. Gilly's gonna be dead, and he's gonna be
Is gone.
disappeared.
Yeah. Oh well.
So we're going off to buy jewelry
Roll
for
up new
Gilly.
characters. Huh?
We're
For
going
jewelry
off to
for
buy
what?
jewelry for Gilly, by the way.
Why?
Because I'm gonna replace the 300 diamonds she used in the ritual,
Oh yeah.
and then I'm going to give her a
That
more,
makes sense.
You can read
a better way to carry it because
No.
she's
Oh
But you
no,
were-
no,
so
no.
So you were overwhelmed with that impulse, and this is now triggered into your mind.
So, like, Justice, like turns his head, like, really awkwardly to the side and, like, is twitching. Like, Gilly,
Dodge action.
I would leave this room now as fast as you can. Go.
I cast Lesser Restoration on him as I leave.
and like I'll take the zip zap dagger and I throw it into the bookshelf or something.
You take 29 points of psychic damage.
Oh no.
So I like reel, like I throw a zip zap dagger to the hilt into like the bookshelf, so I don't throw it at you.
Okay.
And then I like reel and fall to a knee.
Okay.
All right, lesser restoration has no effect.
Damn it.
No, is it?
I run out of the room.
Every 24 hours.
Mom, Ronan! Ronan!
What? But Ronan stares like, what?
Get a healer now!
What?
Don't ask questions, get a healer now!
What? And you were still overwhelmed with that sensation.
Like,
I think something's wrong with Justice.
Does it keep on kicking? Like, am I going to keep taking the damage? Or
You don't know.
I'm going to,
And this is how Justice dies.
I'm thinking about what I know about myself as a Warforged. 1 second.
Oh. What,
What level of the floor are we on?
You're the first one.
yeah. So, what?
I'm gonna slam the door,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to use my thieves' tools to jam the lock.
Roll
Oh my
thieves.
god.
Alrighty. Fuck me. Alright.
Oh my god. Oh no.
In my mind, this is like 14
I should add
constitution
this.
checks to see if you could actually like resist it.
25.
So,
Alrighty, as you and slam the door, the armors, the two armors and iron wall, and two of the dancing swords, and the rug. Use your roll initiative.
Oh no.
Alrighty.
Oh no.
What the hell is going on, Gilly?
I think something's wrong with Justice.
He's what? What do you mean? And, like he can see
We
the
were
armors.
having a conversation and all of a sudden he looked conflicted, told me to run and seemed like he was trying to stop himself from attacking
What
me.
was your total?
14. Uh-oh.
Alright, so the animated armors are going to attack you.
I'm gonna go down like a sack of except 9 HP.
Oh no.
Maybe they'll just drop me and not slay me.
11.
What would have done?
Yeah, these things are rolling. Oh, 20 total.
Is this a
We'd
melee
like to
attack?
be
Yeah.
close enough
Yes,
at
that
this point for like horn of alarm.
You take 4 points of slashing damage. The two animated armors quickly move on you and pull out these pretty good size. They actually pull out two long swords each, and they just start. The dancing swords then fly on you.
Oh god.
Sorry, not dancing swords. What the hell is it called? Yeah. Miss. 17 hit.
That's my AC.
No, sorry, 16.
Miss.
Okay.
Gilly legit didn't trust
19 to
Justice,
hit.
which is why she
That
went
hits.
into a well-fortified
19 to hit.
room.
Hits.
But now I have
8 points of
regrets.
damage, 4 points of damage.
I'm down.
Okay.
Oh no.
Now you are restrained. You go down. You see the defenses in the house. They're all standing guard. They're all still animated, but they have stopped.
Okay.
If that had been a fair fight, I would have done much better.
So
I started with
Yeah, you take 29 points of psychic damage and then go down to a sack of potatoes.
do I is
More
there
potato
any
jokes.
is there any time to do anything
Always.
before he has to make a death saving throw?
Oh yeah, you're in initiative. You would go after him. Oh, actually, roll initiative. Sorry,
Okay.
shit. Sorry.
I get advantage on death saving throws.
What is the
Which
total?
of you
Perfect.
is not going to screw me? 13?
No, that's not perfect. 13. Justice, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Nat 1.
Not 20.
Yep.
Oh, because you have advantage. Right? Is that still part of the?
Oh, let me see.
Oh no.
I think they took that away.
Oh, yeah, I missed that, I think.
Yeah. I don't think you have it anymore. So just go ahead and roll once. Just roll and roll once.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they took it away.
5. Plus.
You have one failed death saving throw.
You don't get a plus or anything. Right?
No. Not that I remember. So then you get there after he is laying stone cold dead, and the rug of smothering is surrounding him. It just has him, and and the animated armor and the flying swords are all pointed at him. And they all look to, and the animated armor looks to you.
But it won't attack me. So,
No, of course not.
I'm just going to. I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him at first level.
Okay. So
Sorry.
actually, this is interesting. You've been defeated.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's 5 points.
As you awake from having been defeated, you now think that this attempt to secure this thing, this protectionary quest that you've been impulsed into, you've now categorized it as a suicide mission, basically at this point. This isn't, you can't do it in any reasonable amount of time, and the spell ends. You are no longer affected by one of the gaiuses.
But I remember that it happened.
Yep, you remember the impulse. You just don't remember how you got it.
And I am ready to do
So
I guess
you-
dodge action or something.
So you awake
while I talk to him.
You awake to 2 animated armors, 2 flying swords, and a rug of smothering is wrapping you up. You are restrained by the rug of smothering.
Thank you for reviving me, Gilly. I was overcome by some kind of impulse when you confronted me.
Ronan is now in it. What the hell is going on?
I think Justice's mind has been meddled with.
That would seem to be the case.
Right? I'm not jumping to conclusions
No,
here,
no,
right?
not at all.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine. Just, I don't care.
I mean, I'm not jumping to conclusions I wouldn't be able to.
Sure.
Okay.
So, Ronan's like, you feeling 100%?
For the time being, although... for the time being. However, before Gilly confronted me, I felt 100% at that moment.
I think
Look at me, lad.
He's looking at his green, ruby, emerald eyes.
I suggest you tell us the straight and narrow and the truth of it. Yeah. Go ahead and roll make a wisdom saving throw. Ahem. At disadvantage. My specialty.
That's a 12.
You are now under the impulse of suggestion by Ronan.
Okay.
yes.
Tell him the straight and truth of it.
Oh man.
Gilly asked to speak with me. She called me into the study. She confronted me about the woman named Duplacroix. Asked if I'd ever met her before. I have no recollection of this. Gilly told me that I had met with Duplacroix while in Cragmandu. Specifically asked about an instance when I departed the group. I was overcome with the urge to kill Gilly. I attempted to resist. I was subdued by the house defenses in a weakened state.
You're damn right you were.
Well, I'm glad I picked the study to have a conversation with you.
What if we were on the what's that called?
The balcony.
Can you imagine? That would have been horrible.
Yeah.
Gilly, it's your call. This is your friend. So I need you to go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Should normally be good at this.
Yeah, you're just rolling straight. I don't know why you have 2 dice.
I'm just holding it.
Okay.
24.
What is your okay? So you believe him.
The zip dagger's like buried to its hilt in the.
No,
Yeah.
it flies back.
Oh, it did. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the property of the zigzag
okay.
dagger.
I didn't know if you could control it, like if it all.
So, but you're restrained, so it's just like bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
I think so what I believe
And a lot of
is
Gilly
that
justice
he's
time.
telling the truth and that he tried to resist and everything,
Mhm.
right? And that so what right. Do you know anything more?
You apparently know more than I do.
Do you think it might be prudent to have a healer check and see if he's been messed with further? Or if he's...
This kind of thing is honestly, I don't know anyone that strong. We don't have really much in the way of healing in magics around here. We don't have any formal religious offices because of the old religion. I mean, you have to... God, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Normally you would go to a hag for those services. Whoops.
Is my mom there?
No, they're both out of the house. Just running.
Okay. Where is my mom?
Your mom, Mfunwe, right? Or
Mhm.
yeah, she is at the Tranquil Chamber doing her studies.
Is there a way we could have mom take a look or get her insights?
Yeah, we can get her insights, but she's no healer, but you know that.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know what sorts of magics could check to make sure his
Right.
mind hasn't been more meddled with. Justice.
Yes.
I'm hoping you're okay with being kind of examined or something. I don't think you were fully in control of yourself, right?
No, I was not.
And
Although
I'm sure
I was
that
able to resist.
I'm sure you'd want to make sure that your mind hasn't been meddled with further, right? Do I understand you correctly there?
I think I'm still under suggestion even. So I would say, yes, of course. My actions I wish to be my own.
Okay. Well, do you think we should just continue to have the rug keep him restrained until just
He looks
in case?
comfy.
That might be logical for the time being.
Prudent? I hope you don't take offense to that.
None whatsoever.
Okay.
So.
Oh my god.
So Ronan casts sending because he actually has that.
Oh, good.
And he's sis. No, not sis.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So.
Lafonway, get here. We need you right now.
It's like Gilly comes home for 1 week.
After about a minute.
Okay.
In the foyer, the teleportation circle lights up. Yeah, hello? Yeah, I'm here. Sounded urgent? Lafonway, the Lady of the Meadows, is there.
The long and the short of it is, Justice's mind seems to have been magically meddled with, and he tried to resist, or he did somewhat resist an urge to act against me. He seems to be of his own facilities at the moment, but we have the rug still around him just in case. And we were wondering if you know of anyone, or if you have any way to check to see if his mind has been further meddled with.
How?
This is a bit beyond me.
Yeah, no, catch me up to speed. What the hell happened?
Well, I wanted to have a conversation with him about something where I wasn't completely sure he'd give me a proper answer or not. And I wanted to kind of see how much I could really... Wait, Alexa.
Oh.
How much I could really...
It's the dog.
It's the ghost in the machine.
It is the ghost in the machine.
The bitter mote of a soul.
So we just all heard Alexa answer a question. We didn't ask it.
Creepy.
So
Yeah.
super creepy.
At least she wasn't laughing
Caught us
out of
early
nowhere.
down the hall.
Anyway, to be frank, I wasn't quite sure whether or not I was going to be able to trust you to answer me honestly. And so I'm just sort of trying to figure out how much I can trust you, which is why I wanted to have that conversation in the study, in case something like this happened, but you meant it.
Oh, I meant it.
Okay, well, you meant it, but you didn't decide to do it of your own choosing.
Correct. I was an impulse.
So...
An impulse. And what conversation spurred this?
Oh God.
I'm still under suggestion. Gilly had
Oh no.
Gilly was concerned about the relationship with Duplacroix. Apparently, I've had previous dealings with her that I have no recollection of. When confronted
Will
with a
trigger
previous meeting
a
of
different
Duplacroix, I was impulsed to kill Gilly. I resisted.
Dupa?
Morgan said that she knew someone who had seen Justice meeting with her in Cragmandu, and so I wasn't sure how much I could trust Justice in that moment.
We'll get to that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
One really quick thing, the thing with determining whether or not you're lying, that's not the same that the
No, it's not
suggestion
the
is doing.
truth. Yeah, no.
Got it.
So she's gonna get down real low and inspect you.
Maintain eye contact.
It's been bewitched. She's gonna cast a spell.
It's a good movie.
Positive or positive or... I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
With a not advantage.
Fuck, she's been cast.
Yep, she has.
And you hear Ronan go, "What the hell?"
And it's your mother, so you wouldn't imagine.
I know.
Counterspell.
I know.
Not surprised as
19.
As she attempts to cast a spell on you of Modify Memory, she looks at you, she's like, "I want you to forget all of this. I want you to forget everything you ever heard about Duplacroix. She's a nice woman. She is a friend. And whatever that witch Morgan told you, you shouldn't believe it." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Best! The lairs!
Cross-up. Horde of Alarm! Horde of Alarm! Horde of Alarm!
Oh my god!
Almighty, you can't take on your
Oh
mother!
my god!
You can't resist all this what a spellcaster.
Can't believe that long stuff.
Fucking appreciate.
Oh my god.
But
So if
does she
you-
know that the spell didn't work? 'Cause she
I don't
said-
know.
Mafonley has no
whether or not
special
it
knowledge
worked.
of knowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mafonwe thinks that it worked, maybe.
Wait.
Well, how
Well,
does Gilly
We
know?
will find out all of this
Oh.
wicked web when we pack back up next
Will
week.
Justice, get out of the rug!
Well, Ronan attack his sister-in-law.
Will
Find
Selena
out
and
next
Sevilla
week.
spend too much at the store?
All this and more next on Ghost of the Machine.
I
What
think
about
he's looking
Silver?
on
I
me.
just don't know. Meanwhile, attack you.
Oh my god.
Never split the party! Never split the party!
This is why we
you
always
specifically
go talk
wanted to
as a
just
group.
take
Oh my
civilians.
God.
Because I didn't want to take you with me because I'm buying you a fucking gift.
You split
All right,
the party.
everyone calm down. Let's close this thing out. To
Oh my
keep
God.
abreast of all the craziness, follow the Twitch channel. Once we get to 50 followers, we will be affiliates and we will have
Oh.
a sub button.
3 followers tonight from
3
when
followers?
we started at 7. So
That's
thank
awesome.
you, all 3 of you. You're
Thank
awesome.
you.
I
Thanks,
think one
guys.
of you
And
still with us. So
Follow
we
the
appreciate
channel
it.
right now. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, and we will see you next week.
And watch for videos.
Yes, follow our socials, and we will see you next week in the wonderful world of Edda. Bye.
Bye.
Hold on, I haven't stopped.